This program features live coverage of an African safari and may include animal kills and carcasses. Viewer discretion is advised.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome here on Juma Safari Live. Such a beautiful, beautiful afternoon. I'd like to wish everyone that joined us for Safari Live Happy New Year. From myself and Davi behind the camera, we are looking for the great afternoon. We really want to start from the dam, and please, anyone that joins us, don't forget to send us more questions on hashtag WildEarth on Twitter. If you are under age of 18 years, please pop us an email, kidsquestion@wildearth.tv. Please don't forget also to register a question on WildEarth website. Head over to the channel page and submit your question there. We're looking for a beautiful, beautiful afternoon with all questions and comments. We really appreciate it a lot. We are looking forward to head towards the east, looking in particular everything that might be interesting for our afternoon. I'm happy to share all information of different African culture, all small creatures up to a big 5 animal. It's the easy day today. It's a happy new year. I hope everyone joining us, we're all celebrated, we're all happy. We're looking forward for 2022. Let me take you down towards the south. We just spotted Lauren going down towards the Gari Dam. Might be a little bit of activities there. We just spotted some chakmas or baboons slowly heading towards the dam. Very interesting behavior animals. I hope Lauren will be able to view them around the waterhole. We'll head south. Tree house will be the best. I never know what you're gonna find on those areas. And also we would like to go a little bit more to the west. There was a lot of elephant activities around those areas. I believe maybe in the course of a day we have spotted breeding herd of elephant that coming towards the Gari Dam. It might be also active. All the water holes going to be active. Today is very hot. You might get to see different species coming down to the water, because grazing around in the area and browsing at the same time, you need water. And all these species, for them, in order to regulate the body system, some of the species, of course, they need to wallow or swim in the dams that we have around in the area. It will be so much important for our afternoon, beginning of a drive, plan to go towards the dams and able to see. We're not looking for a leopard in particular for this afternoon. If tracks comes, yes, we will. I know that Kalamba will be the best to see, but we'll never predict the movement of the leopard. She moved quite a lot. We may be able to see Kalamba living around Treehouse Dam. There was tracks this morning look like a tipi, total span, moving to the west and headed straight to the east. May come out around the quarantine. You never know whether he will extend his territory furthermore to the east. I'm a little bit more concerned about his movement now. It looks like regularly he's always around Impala Plains, and now started to move to the east. He might get into the area of Kalamba. it will be very much dangerous for the cubs, unless if Mlowati gets into the area and manage to stop TP coming all the way down here. If not, it will be dangerous for the cubs. Let us look up ahead on us. There is a bed of prey. I would like to, of course, view this bed of prey. By the look of the thing, well done, David. David managed to catch that form, the brown snake eagle. The brown snake eagle are very common around in the area. It's one of the bird of prey, of course, that hunt fairly snakes. They have really beautiful eyes. The color is more brownish, dark in color. I can see maybe the camera would be a little bit far. I'll just position myself nicely in order to enjoy the view of the brown snake eagle. Let us look at another location, how weather does for the afternoon in Happy New Year.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the other half of the Juma feeds. I am not Rexon, not even close, but I am here, and of course, for those of you that didn't make it on the morning drive, Happy New Year to you all. Maybe some of you had a sore head, you know how it goes on New Year's Day. Happy New Year. My name is Lauren, and I do have Owen on camera today, but not only Owen, I do have a very special guest with me today, so allow me to introduce the Ticket to Dream holder, Mr. Peter.
Hi guys, Happy New Year to you all, to my father and sister in the Netherlands.
Oh, what is your father's name?
My father's Martin.
Martin.
And Marieke is my sister.
Marieke. Happy New Year, Martin and Marieke. What beautiful names. Probably didn't pronounce them right, but that's okay. So welcome, it's a pleasure to have you here.
Fine to be here.
And what is our plan for today? What do you really want to see?
Ribbon would be good, the guppies.
I can actually show you.
Lamba, of course. Oh, nice. The lamba with the guppies.
Okay, that's not a tall order at all.
But kingfisher would be nice too.
That's doable. That's doable. Okay, we'll start with the kingfisher. We saw ribbon this morning. It's obviously really, really hot down. Going to see ribbon would be perfect. Anne is saying Happy New Year to us all from the Netherlands. Fantastic. It's a Happy New Year to everyone. And you're from the Netherlands, Peter, aren't you?
Netherlands, but I'm living in Liechtenstein.
Liechtenstein.
It's Switzerland and Austria. Very small country.
Oh, and do you like living there?
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Beautiful. Peter's been here a few times and he's an avid viewer, so he's got a tall order for animals, but that's okay, we'll make it happen. Pied kingfisher I think we can do. Ribbon I think we can do. Tlalamba, well, let's see. I would obviously love to see Miss Tlalamba as well. I haven't seen the cubs yet and I don't actually know her movement, so it's going to take me a day or two to piece together where everyone is moving. But luckily we managed to catch up with the Juma clan this morning. My day was made. Absolutely made. Really, they all came out to see me, and when people tease about the hyena whisperer, you know what? I'm going to go with it. I think it was a vulture. Can you ID that bird? The sun's just a little bit bright. This is summer. My goodness, I was complaining about the rain yesterday, but I fully think it's definitely full swing of summer. But you can ask me questions, as you know, but you can also ask Peter questions. Please send them in and chat to us. But I believe I have a pied kingfisher to find, and I think I know where I'll get one. So we're going to head north. I haven't been north yet. Head to Buffelshoek Dam, and then take it from there, really. See what we can see. But Jackson did mention that he thinks, obviously he has spent time with Kalamba and cubs, that she's sort of in this side, east of Gowrie Dam central area. So we may as well also keep our eyes open for any signs of Miss Kalamba. I'm so happy for that cat. You know, Juma has been very empty of leopard cubs, very empty, and I think it's fabulous that we now have our very own leopard cubs. The west can have Tiani, the east can have Kuchava, but we now have our very own leopard cubs in the form of Kalamba. Okay, so we are going to bumble north and let's see what we can find.
In 2017, it was the end of a long era where Queen Karula had reigned in Juma for 14 years. She passed on, leaving Tandy, her only remaining daughter, to assume the throne. Tandy took over her late mother's domain. She was a protective mother, once luring a baboon away from her cubs. Her young son, Tamba, continues to thrive to this day.
Isn't that wonderful, everybody? Tandy and Tamba.
Princess Kalamba, daughter of Queen Tandy, is now the heir to the throne.
Kalamba is now having a snooze on the branch. Absolutely gorgeous.
WildEarth is launching non-fungible tokens attached to many of the individual leopards that we have grown to love on WildEarth. If you are interested in being part of this pioneering initiative, then head over to our website to find out more.
If I could take you on safari all day and all night, I would. But unfortunately, it's not always the best time to see the animals. Now, in between safaris, you can watch the WildEarth channel with loads of extra shows. If you have a connected television, Apple TV or Roku box, then download the WildEarth app, and if not, then just find it on the App Store on your phone.
Wildlife trafficking remains a growing problem in South Africa, and often made worse by the way the media portray this complex issue. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, have recently embarked on a program whereby they train reporters to better tell stories of wildlife trafficking.
In my community, wildlife conservation is mostly something other people do, and I would like to change that. My name is Iman Singli. I told people I met that the pangolin is one of the most trafficked animals on the planet. But what is a pangolin, they said? Why is it in danger? This is what made me decide that the pangolin story must be told. If we are to play a part in preventing the extinction of this animal, then we must all be part of the battle.
A partnership between WWF South Africa and WESA, supported by US Aid.
Welcome back live. We are having this brown snake eagle. You can see the black bird that is really flying there. It's a fork-tailed drongo, which is a very aggressive little species of birds right at the area, dark black in color. We even given the name of this species jackrasses of the bush. Very, very, very aggressive. It goes for any eagles around the area, big and small. You find that the fork-tailed drongo is the one that can always give trouble for all eagles. The brown snake eagle is very easy to identify. You look at the head, it's slightly fluffy and bigger, and they always sit on the top of the tree in 45 angle degree. From the distance, you can see, or you can know, if you really knows how actually all the bird of prey perch on top of the trees around here. And it's very rare to find brown snake eagle in trees that still have leaves to sitting very low. The reason behind that, because this species, of course, all the time, it needs to be on top of the tree in order to scan on the ground anything that will be moving, as from snake, mice, and more, etc. It's one of the most successful eagle hunting around. You tend to see them even going for scorpion, frogs, etc. The brown snake eagle, you always see being alone. This is one of the species that doesn't pair, only when the mating pair, yes, but in most cases, each and everyone take its own route. They will be joining to enjoy the partners if they're around the nest. We look at the beautiful, beautiful sky today that shows that it will be a lively afternoon. As sun goes down, we'll be having a little bit of breeze around in the area and cooler, where it allows more species to move. Of course, the New England brown snake eagle is sitting right patching up this time of the day when it's very hot. It's hardly to find snakes' movement. Because when the soil has become very hot, the snakes that don't want to burn themselves, they will be up in the trees, find the good shadows. So everyone, but this time from lions, all the different species, they will be enjoying the bush. Karina's question, why the eagle doesn't chase the fork-tailed drongo. If you look at the weight of these two species are all different. The energy that the eagle is going to use, and if you look, fork-tailed drongo can turn and maneuver very easily, also up and down trees. Flying is a large species, so it will use a lot of energy to try to really and fighting the fork-trailer. Look at how fork-trailer turn and goes boom down and all that. It's a lot of energy from the big eagles. They cannot do that. Mainly, they will let the drongo do whatever they're doing. You see, now it's time for drongo to pack on the brown snake eagle because it's not going to turn very fast. I haven't seen, honestly speaking, if you look at the falcons and all chanting goshawk and other species where they can turn very fast, you hardly don't see fork-tailed drongo go for them. Thank you, David. Lovely, that is a fork-tailed drongo. You can see a little bit more from this. Is now more relaxed. We still have the eagle. And now already they all have taken off. So we'll be carrying on and see around us what might be around the waterholes. Going 3 hours, but we'll check a few roads before we get there. Would like to surround the area of 3 houses. I'm looking in particular tracks. Quite a few roads here. I wanted to take Texan Road heading down to the water, but now take Weaver's Nest. This is the area where, remember in the morning, where we were told that Tandy, she was very close to Gary Main, opposite of this road, which is Lucas Open, facing coming to the north. But it will be wise again to check all these water holes around in the area, 3 houses, all these pangolin tracks, come all the way down to 3 houses, looking for a joy. I mean, it might be a leopard around in the area. We need to prove that by finding tracks in the area and the direction. Otherwise, you will never know that there's an animal around in the area. Because it's too hot, this small pen national called pangolin pen, see, we're talking about moving from one waterhole to the next. Take an example. Here's an impala. Even if impala have white bellies and reddish in color, drinking water is one of the very, very important things that they have to do in the area. Drinking water, it can really cool down the body system, all the different species, without going into the water. The impala just standing here, waiting, and make sure that there's no other animals that hang around in this area. Going down to the water, you need to be always have extra careful, because it might happen that a leopard is waiting, is hiding in the area. You must make sure that the ears, you're able to hear, smell, eyesight. You combine the 3 elements of life. If you not have that, if you don't use it, you will be surprised. You can see the second impala just come out from the thick bush, turning back because of all these kind of bushes are moving, making sound. But of course, let me move forward, then we can see the body posture of the second impala, how reaction is. They have lower back a little bit, that shows that the mate spotted something. And I will be looking back to Lauren, which is in the bumble. Might be lucky and find something in the area where Lauren is moving.
We are just bumbling north, and I just cannot believe how thick it is. I know I keep saying this, I'm probably going to keep saying this, to be honest. Have you been here in winter time, Peter?
No, never.
Okay. Do you choose?
3 times here.
3? Okay.
2017 and 20.
And do you choose to come in summer because it suits you, or do you want to be?
It suits me.
It suits you. Okay.
I have holiday. We have also holiday in summer, but sometimes I must go home too.
Yeah, of course, of course. And a lot of people ask when is the best time to come, and honestly, there is no easy answer. Winter definitely is easier to find animals, but for me, and I'm into photography, I'm definitely not that good at it. The color of summer. I mean, seeing a leopard, his photos get me jealous of these. That's okay. I'm not jealous. But the color of the cats and even dogs and even hyenas against this emerald green, that is what you want for photography. But not everyone's into photography, and some people don't enjoy the heat. I mean, it's hot. It's very, very hot. Have you got sun cream on, Peter?
Sorry.
Have you got sun cream on?
Yes, I have.
Okay, I need to look after my people on board. Owen, you got sun cream? Okay, my team have sun cream on. So we're going to continue to make our way to Professor Dam.
The cup lost the kill yesterday, the blue ice cup.
Yeah.
And it's all hell started with the hyena.
Welcome back from Lauren. We just arrived here at Pangolin Pan. Pangolin Pan is the pan that is created by all different species, as from elephant, buffalo, warthog, and rhino, of course. That shows that in ecosystem, we don't really need a human being to help wildlife. A wildlife that can able to dig their own pen naturally. When it rains, it can hold water. It's very, very common for elephant and rhino and warthog, buffalo. In the rain season, they will come in this particular area. They will do wallowing. As they wallow in the mud, they will carry a lot of mud in the body system. And as they're doing that, the pen is going bigger and bigger. In the next 10, 20 years, the number of elephants that we have into the surrounding natural pen like pangolin pen is going to be extended. Of course, if you look at the number of elephants that we have in the great Kruger National Park, also in this area of Juma Conservancy, it's just shocking. Number of elephants is too high, which they're really gonna do quite a lot of pens around in the area, more especially if it comes to rain season. Elephant is one of the most intelligent species out here. They know that they can really dig pans and able to harvest water for the next season when it's dry. So a species that can think that almost in the level of intelligence of a human being. Elephant mostly are the one that really creates all of these pens around in the area. You tend to see elephant pushing trees, similarities that they're doing with the pen, in order to make sure that they have to farm the grass in surrounding. If the trees are pushed down, in most cases, it stops erosion and also protect the ground in order for a best grass to grow. Exactly the same with the pen that they're doing around in the area, the natural pen. We have this one. Close by, we have so-called chela pen. The chela pen, it means frog span. Almost in the right time of the year, in the rain season, you tend to see a lot of bullfrogs. The bullfrogs are very common in our culture, Shangile culture. Those are the best dish or best meat to eat. So cheddar pan is where the pan derives. The name derived from all bullfrogs. The bullfrogs that they normally find around the area.
Little Prince Hosanna was born in February 2016 to Karula, the Queen of Juma. Over the years, this remarkable young male cat has captured the hearts of WildEarth viewers around the world.
He's just got the best facial expressions.
We met him the day he was born.
Look at the little guy. We just came around the corner.
Enjoyed his playful antics and watched his first hunt.
It is incredible. That's probably his first solo kill.
When his mother disappeared and was presumed dead, he was left alone at only 1 year of age. Remarkably, he survived against the odds to become an incredible male leopard. If you want to celebrate this cat whilst being involved in a pioneering initiative for conservation, head over to our website and buy a Hosanna token.
When on safari, there's nothing better than an evening spent under the stars chatting around a fire, with the sounds of the wild all around you. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, you can build your own memories by joining our guides for regular fireside chats. Subscription payments can be made by PayPal, credit card, and now bank transfer. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. BirdLife South Africa, our country's only dedicated bird conservation organization. They have been very successful in a number of areas, including the conservation of more than 150,000 hectares of grasslands and estuary habitat, saving thousands of albatrosses in trawl and longline fishing, and training community bird guides as ambassadors for nature in rural areas. Celebrating their official 25th anniversary, they are sharing 25 of their top success stories across their social media platforms. BirdLife South Africa is currently striving towards the conservation of 132 bird species that are heading for extinction. If we conserve birds, we will protect other biodiversity and important habitats that provide clean water and clean air for humans. Their work is forever ongoing. People who love birds can become a member of BirdLife South Africa or make a donation towards a bird conservation project.
Welcome back live. We're still on the Low River Road, Twin Dams Road. This is one of the road that it's more in the western bank of Molowata River. Very much productive road in most cases, because the riverbed at the moment, it really used by lions and leopard to travel because it's a lot more cooler. All the trees that are against the bank of the river, it do provide a very good shade for all cats in general. So they really like the area. So sometimes if you really use this route and the middle stream of the riverbed, you might be lucky to see some leopard around, which later on will come into the middle stream of the Molowata riverbed, trying to see if we may lucky find any cat lying down in the road, even hyenas, anything must be found in the area. Today, plans or specialty that I would like to share with you together for the afternoon, more especially in the New Year's. We are just off from 2021 and now we are on 2022. I just hope as I'm driving up towards Three House Dam, if I get the tree, I will manage to bring the branch. Then we can share the information history of the African cultures about this specific tree, and also how for us in the new year. I respect being an African and understand all these trees around in the area, and also some of the trees. We'll be linking to Lauren. He's up his way to the Chitwa Dam. Apologies, I was
sorry, I'm so sorry. No, not you. Well, I've finally found at least one of Peter's requests. A pied kingfisher at Buffelshoek Dam. It wasn't too difficult to find, and I'm going to ask Peter, are we looking at a male or a female?
I think a male has two stripes on the chest and a female one.
Oh, okay, you got it right. Yeah. So, if we just look, are we able to get any closer, Owen, or is this our...
It's okay.
Okay. Well, you can see this one only has the sort of dicky bow tie. It's not got the double... It's not got the double breast band. So therefore we do know it's a female. Well done, Peter.
Thank you.
It's actually really nice to see Buffelshoek Dam. It's funny, Tristan and I love working with Tristan. We often talk about Buffelshoek Dam nowadays as a dam of nothing. I never see anything in Buffelshoek Dam anymore, and I remember when I first came here, it was the year of the drought, 2018, and this entire dam was empty. I remember walking across it with James Hendry and even Brent Leo Smith, and looking in the cracks of the dam for all sorts of life that may just be hiding there, waiting for nourishment from the rain. And you could see for miles. I've had the most incredible sightings. Just here, we had the sighting of Tingana fighting with Hosanna. Just here, Klalamba loves it in this area. It's obviously very thick. And on the other side, just over here, we had the sighting with Klalamba following Tingana. He was walking and she was just sniffing and following and sniffing and following. I've had wonderful sightings here, Mulwati here, but just of late, it just has become the dam of nothing. Sorry, Buffelshoek Dam, but maybe you could just prove me wrong. I've also had some wonderful elephant sightings here. Okay, so that's me ticked off one thing on Peter's list. He would also like to drive down the Mulwati, and I would love to drive down the Mulwati just to see the condition of it, see what it's like. I don't know what it's going to be like from the rains last night, but obviously it's been incredibly hot today, so a lot of it will have evaporated. And I would like to get out on foot at one point and see if I can see the wigs. I'm determined not to believe that Twiddler didn't make it. I think they've just shifted. Sit here, Peter, and just listen to, close your eyes and just listen to all the bird calls. It's incredible. Okay, we are going to head into the Mulwati, I think, and you guys are going to head over to Rixon with a surprise.
Welcome back from Lauren, heading down Mulwati Riverbed, which is a great plan for the afternoon to check. Mulwati Riverbed might be quite a lot of activity. We are joined with this elephant, look like he's having a little bit of trouble when it gets to his ears. It's not in the nature of an elephant. These ears, morely, it might be this elephant injured. When we get here from the beginning, I can smell that this elephant is having a wound around the ears. What might be the cause of the wound? It might be the disease, of course. I cannot really guess on that. It might be again from fighting. It could happen quite a lot that the elephant might have itself the ear. It was just really mud bathing in front of us. Elephant in nature, they really like to move in the area where they know that they will manage to get water to cool down the body system. If you look at the road, the elephant have dented more because he get a puddle of water and they stay mud on the road itself with the front feet and able to pour itself to cool down the body system. Actually, when it comes to natural pen, this is what happens quite most of the time. As elephants have done this, in future or tomorrow, if water comes into the area, it will do the same, and that dent, it will be also extended easy on that way. Let me try to view this elephant to the best. I'm moving forward slowly in order to have, lucky enough he's turning, maybe he might get us, he must give us a best kind of headshot. Look like he's moving, not really getting my request. I thought maybe we speak same language, but look like it's not. I don't mean to go. Look at that, he's defecating and urinating at the same time. So the physical challenge of this spell, it will be only the ears. You can see from the ears is a gash there, which is healing, where it might be between the two bull elephant that were playing or fighting and managed to really poke one of the tusks through the ears and break that ear. That is what I can really, at the moment, guess what happened to this particular elephant. When it comes to healthiness of the species, due to the ear, the elephant is very healthy. You can see, look at the body, look at also the movement. The only thing that can really give us a little bit of concern is the ear, because ear is one of the tools that is highly important when it comes to elephant. They cool down the body system using the ears, flapping the ears, because the soft parts of an elephant is behind the ears, is where actually when it comes to radiation, cool radiation of an elephant, it comes between the ears. So this young bull who is going to copy in this kind of scenario is going to grow up in the area, even the ear is not in a good shape to order to radiate the body system. You'll make its life by going down to the waterhole regularly and cool down. It looks like he is a beautiful boy. As you look with the trunk, he's trying to get rid of flies. Is where actually I've just spotted his ear is having a hole, which it might be the fight from other elephant. If you look at how he actually react, is how actually elephant, once he gets into a mode of being not relaxed, he will raise the head a little bit up and show that he's not happy. Following an elephant, suddenly you see the head is above the nuclear muscle of the shoulders. Be careful with that particular animal. He's no longer tolerating any movement or any intruders into the space where he might be. We're all familiar, elephant will give us zone, a comfort zone, of course, an alert zone, of course, and also a critical zone for anything that might be trying to come very close. I've learned over many years with my experience of an elephant, tracking elephant, walking around in the area, viewing elephant, join the herd of elephant, of course, and food, even bulls around in the area. So you have to always read the elephant body in order to be always safe. If you find the species, as I'll really mentioned earlier on, the head is a little bit up, don't get close to that particular species. He's gonna really fight back. Let's follow him and see where he's taking us to, but he's going to the road by the look of the thing. We'll try. Momo always the ears is not a very good sign to refer for an elephant to intimidate other species that might be coming. Yes, of course, when the elephant open up the ears, it really tells you that danger in the area. But again, Momo, look at the animal body posture. If an animal starts to raise the head up, is where you might be concerned about it. Sometimes an elephant might raise the ears, just they feel like they are surprised with something, but doesn't mean that they are intimidated. So it's quite a lot of things. It's more complex to understand the elephant. It depends what might be taking place during that moment with that particular species, of course, when it raises ears. Sometimes you may right, it might intimidate using ears, but sometimes it might intimidate species by really raising the head up above the shoulders and face with the enemy. I would like to follow up on this specific elephant because I've now realized what is the actually cause of the ear being broken. So sometimes we find an ear, sometimes it might be a tusk. Oh, he have taken us to the breeding head of the elephant. We never expected this, that this young bull, he will take us to the breeding head. In front of us, we are joining breeding head of elephant, which is really, it's good for us. We have taken initiative to follow the young elephant and take us into the direction of the rest. That is in the nature of an elephant. Time and again, young bulls, what they do, they still follow the females in order to join, sometimes feel more a little bit comfortable and move off in their own direction. Having 16 to 18 years is an elephant that's supposed to move out. But of course, in the same head, I can see the young elephant that are similar in his age, they are in a group as a male. So they really communicate with the low frequency that they make, most cases like a rumbling voice, which is really intimidating if you don't know what might be elephant do the sound. If they are behind the bushes, it sounds like a vibration of maybe a big thunder far from the distance, meanwhile as an elephant. And that travel with the force of gravity that carry more distance than the trumpeting that we as human beings, we can hear very loud, because we hear by ears. They feel from the ground itself when the rumbling take place. So there's a huge differences between hearing and also feeling. The elephant can feel that rumbling from far, between 10 to 15, especially after rain like today. It really travels far, far along. And we'll be really linking back to Tessa. We have this young bull come close towards our vehicle. She's now more relaxed.
Our first morning view of Karula, and what a treat!
Karula, affectionately known as the Queen of Juma, was born in 2004 to Safari and Mufufunyani. Karula defines success as a mother and a huntress.
It's just the most amazing leopard.
Well known for having raised multiple litters of cubs successfully, mothering came naturally to this cat. The Queen was adored by WildEarth viewers from all over the world, but sadly, in March 2017, she disappeared, leaving behind her last two cubs, Hosanna and Shangile, to survive on their own. Her bloodline continues throughout the Sabi Sands, and her memory will never be forgotten. If you want to celebrate the life of this magnificent cat, then head over to our website and find out more about buying a Karula non-fungible token.
As a naturalist, it's really important that I stay up to date and up to breast with what's happening in the wild and in the world around us. The WildEarth app helps us do that and helps us stay abreast with the live interactions of animals every day. We're going to be here at Stony Point bringing you the African penguin story, and we'd love to see you on the app. See you on the beach.
For those of you who love to join us on safari here on WildEarth, we have some news.
This is incredibly exciting.
The team have trawled through the archives and found the very best of safari life from over the years.
Come and disperse there.
With locations such as the Masai Mara in Kenya.
You can see how close he is from where I am.
Tswalu in the Kalahari.
It is absolutely incredible.
And of course Pinda and Ngala right here on our doorstep.
Listen.
We have hours of great entertainment that is now playing on our channel. Catch up with guides from the past and of course your favorite animal characters.
It's happening. I've never seen this before.
The best of Safari Live will be broadcast on WildEarth channel daily, so jump on board and join us down memory lane. Times for this brand new series are on our website.
Welcome back. We saw the breathing heart of the elephant. Look like they're slowly moving to the direction of the north. We're going to follow this elephant. They know that might be heading into a specific area with reasons and purposes. I know that the elephant is one of the most intelligent species. They know that where they're going to do and what they need. And of course, it's not the first time for this breeding herd to be in the area. Their movement in the area has been really registered long ago. They know this area. If they move from this part to this area, where they're gonna get water and where they're gonna get healthy grass. At the moment, the elephant concentrate on the healthy grass, of course, to make them more happy. We just really drive past the game drive vehicle. Nina, you're asking about the elephant trunk, how long the youngster gain over control of using the trunk without really struggling that we see most of the youngster when it comes to trunk they are battling. It takes almost a year or two. They will start to really know to use the trunk well. They can scoop mud, they can do quite a lot of things while they're still young. Remember, the elephant have from 50,000 to 150,000 muscles on the trunk itself. So it might more time for good practices. Then they will be more professional when they get into that age. More especially from year onwards, they will be so much professional. Year and a half, sometimes somewhere there, you tend to see them. They will be more. When they get to 2 years, they will be no longer amateurs. They will know how to use the trunk properly and also to defend themselves with the trunk from other species that might be trying to really interact with their life. We tend to see sometimes an elephant interacting with the other species as far as rhino, as far as other species, buffalo. It depends also with the age of the elephant. If the elephant is still young, it will be undermined by other species. Of course, when it comes to defending itself, it might be really challenged by other big species around, as far as hippo and all that. But once they get into certain age, it will be well respected with all species around in the area. Otherwise, the only species that will really challenge elephant, it will be another elephant from another herd. It's very common in practices of the elephant. They respect one another from different families. Or the elephant that in the area that not belongs to one family, that belongs to different families around. As raising elephant, you find them, they move together as family. You would never ever see them mixing with the different families around. So it's more important as raising the more protective, and does raising as elephant behavior in general, and also with the species is highly intelligent, working in a family or moving in a family is like in our society, the tribes that we have in surrounding, they stay together in a family. The reason behind that, they can help one another very easily when it comes to anything that matters in their life. Let me take the opportunity. I can see one of the elephants is heading down to one of the puddle of water. I would like to see if an elephant with the youngster, more especially because the youngster are always cute to watch. Let's see with the youngster what he's going to do. What they know as a gently giant. The word gently, just because these species are so highly intelligent, anything that they take, anything that they do, they're more conscious if they want to do something. Unfortunately, the other elephant just spoke, the youngster was deep inside the water, trying to wallow inside the mud wallows. We'll take our time here and see again if the youngster can give us that moment to go down to the water. Indeed, the species, of course, whatever they do, they really calculated any risk of anything. It could be danger, it could be pleasure. There's raising the elephant. As you can see, the youngster just dipping in. And the mother knows that this time the youngster is feeling hot, and this is more suitable, mud wallows that created by elephant. There's no crocodile inside. They know that there's nothing inside because crocodile cannot manage to live in the shallow water like as it is, and also small. So the youngster not taking any risk. The mother have calculated the risk that might be taking if she goes into a bigger dam as far as Befesuk Dam, Chitwa Dam, on those areas where you might find crocodiles that are big. Maybe they might get disturbed. Even if the croc might be there, if you try the youngster, the whole head will come and risk out the little one. They might kill the crocodile if they really interact with the baby. What I was saying earlier on on Chelapan, this is what normally elephants do. They stay mud, as you can see, pour themselves. As they're doing, they lift a lot of mud, or they take a lot of mud out of the pan, throw it out. When the rain rains in the area, those sand that the elephant are using is going to be washed away, and the pan itself is going to be deeper and more extended. Elephant is one of the special animals out here. I believe myself that the elephant, you take elephant out of the system, you're not going to have a healthy environment. Of course, we tend to see a lot of destruction because of the population. A part of the population of an elephant, we look at what the elephant, the most important thing that they do for the ecosystem. Elephant create homes from different species, from snake, or francolins, leopards, lions, steenbok, grey decker, impala, all of these species that are in the area. Pushing all these trees, the grass take over. There will be home for snake, there will be home for genet, there will be home for civet. Some of the species, the instinct, they are so rare to see them in the area. For instance, let me talk about caracal. We don't hardly see caracal in the area. The reason behind it might be competing with the other species. But of course, for them to survive in the area, they need area where they can really den in order for youngsters to survive and a number take place into the surrounding. Same as termite. Termite play a very good role in the surrounding. A tiny little thing, it plays a role. If you look at the termite, they create termite that we see around here, where it's used by warthog and other species for denning, hyena and more, etc. Of course, also bringing down the grass and really fertilize the ground in order for all these species to really be healthy in the surrounding. So everything in the area is a puzzle. It do helps one another. It doesn't matter small or big. It's such an important creature into the ecosystem. Lovely breathing head of elephant. Let us take that Junebug, lovely. We really appreciate your comment. I want to just take a moment, more elephant coming, if they join here, let us really enjoy the sun that comes out with the little one in the paddlings and able to really enjoy the natural sound of the bush. I really love the elephant, the way the elephant behave. If you take a note from really from this animal, of course, they are living very closely to what normally people do in the local communities. All of them, they know one another, they're all related. They live in a herd, of course, which is one family. If we look at the tribes that lives in different areas, from Shangile tribe up to Zulu and other tribes to mention, which all live the similar behavior, you can see that this little one, it will be taken care by each and every individual member of this herd, of course. Similar, the same with the tribes. They know one another, they take care of one another. Elephants have the similar behavior. If a youngster gets into a stage where it might be over 18, it will be also kicked out by the matriarch. Similar with the people, when they get to a certain age, they have to be independent and start to form their own families. It's exactly the same, but they're not going to completely really separate with the rest of the family. They go and have their own houses and forth, but they still attach with their parents and sisters, and they still do things together. They still help one another. So the elephant are slightly the same. Even young males kicked out in the area, he will be still visit time and again with the head, will still be recognized that is one of the member of the family. What is going to happen with the males, in most cases, they'll go somewhere else and try to mate with different blood of the elephants in other herds. That is where normally the species, you will get to see that how respecting from one another, they cannot mate with their own members of the family. But it's similar behavior with the Africans that we live in the area. If you want to marry, you need to go out of completely your area and be able to find a different member of different family that doesn't relate it to your family. So actually it works. So we have similarities. The only thing that we don't understand, we don't take a note quite a lot with these species and observe the behavior and follow out and get a proper research of all different species in nature. We're just enjoying this elephant dust bathing. You can see that it's trying to get rid of the flies.
Hukamuri. Yo, here's an impressive looking male leopard. Look at that neck on him. He just looks ready for a fight.
This is only the third time that we are seeing him that is known as the Hukamuri male. He certainly has a lot of character and atmosphere.
This is gorgeous. Hukamuri having a drink at one of the little seasonal pans that's filled up after that beautiful rain we had last night.
First time seeing Hukamuri, isn't he beautiful?
He's got the babies. He's got the baby. 2 of the babies made it away. He's got the 1 baby.
Only meters away from me, folks.
You know, for all we say he's a gangster and he's got a face for radio, we only tease. He's actually highly, highly adorable.
Isn't he absolutely gorgeous? Compact, powerful, focused.
It's not just Hukamuri and elephants approaching. Look at this.
I love it.
I've always dreamed of Africa since I was a little girl. And then I just decided, you know what? It's time to come. It's time to just live the dream.
If you want to go on safari with a WildEarth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
It is so exciting. You're able to see the difference of what you see on TV to how much work it actually is creating what you see on TV. The leopards, mareeps. How could you not really fall in love with that cat? He's got such a personality, and you never know what he's going to do.
Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
It's about just being together and seeing and enjoying the animals and the great outdoors. It's just been a great experience. Certainly, if anyone's able to, dare to dream and come.
Welcome back from Lorraine. We are here with this beautiful sighting of elephant live here at Juma Safari Live. We really, even myself, I call it this is the most beautiful sighting. If you look at, we in a perfect light with this breeding head of elephant, and also a lot more common, a lot more relaxed. This is all really give us more like a joy joining this family of an elephant. It just reminds me as I'm seeing this elephant, the way they behave, in the way actually in their family, in the extended family, or whatever the practices is. It really makes me happy because you can see the reason why they're so much quiet and there's no competition amongst themselves is due to all of them are related, sisters and aunt and all cousins and they're all together. So that taught us quite a lot that in a family it's very good to stay together as a family. It's more peaceful if an elephant can manage to do that, and also human being can able to do it. Oh, look at the youngster, such a cute after really swimming or wallowing on the mud. Of course, look like it really settles. When it comes to breeding out of elephant, of course, the little one take a lead, more especially when it comes to movement in the area. If they feel more tired, they're the one that signal to the mothers, more especially a matriarch will take decision amongst the breeding head at the time to lie down, a time to take the little one for pull. Look at that. That is the sign that the elephant doesn't mean that it's angry with us. Remember earlier on the intimidation of an elephant. That nodding head and raising ears, it means you recognize us. I'm a living object. I'm not a tree. I'm not a termite. Mainly elephants do that at night. When you drive around in the area, certainly elephants in the road will shake the head to show you and make sure you have insurance of it's a living object. It's one of the most intelligent species. They can calculate also what you're thinking about them and really take a decision about that. That's raising elephant is one of the species that I know that they do have feelings in most cases, and also emotions when it comes to reaction of human being, even without showing that you're going to do something. For instance, if you come here with an elephant, wanted maybe to scare them or shoot them or do whatever, they will really know that. But if you come here with peaceful mind and also enjoying them, they really cannot read that. As we come here to enjoy the sighting, the elephant also enjoying together with us. I've just seen they had the vehicle that drove past there. That engine vehicle, it looked like it's been recognized with the intervention or interference of the elephant. Maybe they had this long ago, or this experience with that particular vehicle, reffing, chasing them. I didn't understand why that elephant is shaking the head. It's shaking the head because it knows the engine that comes here. I just saw one young bull. He was raising the head a little bit up, wanted to go towards the vehicle because that particular vehicle, somehow they know something bad about it, not good thing. Elephant can do that. They can remember vehicle, they can remember the color, they can remember the sound. Even human being. I was so shocked when the old hyena, just take an example with Lauren. He came back yesterday at the camp, and all the hyena was shocked this morning. They were sleeping on the road, all of them, because Lauren really loves the hyena. And the hyena can calculate that. They know that this particular lady, he liked us a lot. And all of them, they come to the road. As they hear him talking at the quarantine, they suddenly, all of them moving to towards his vehicle. So it's something that we don't calculate, we don't know about. We just think sometimes in an opposite way. But these species, if you tend to really love them and go all the time, visit their den, all the time, follow specific herd of an elephant, they will eventually accommodate you, one of the a member of the individual herd in the area. When you come back, they will always welcome you. This is very interesting. Today I was like, what's going on? Of course, and I believe that Lauren really loves hyena, and the hyena sense that, and they know that, and they welcome me, come back home. Same with this elephant. We tend to really, if you follow them a lot and you really mean it, you really love them, they will really accept you, they will really love you. If you go away, the time you come back, they will also come back and welcome you. It happens a lot. I've read the book one day. There was actually a farmer with an elephant that always farmed the elephant. He went away for years. When he come back, they heard the voice of the owner. They ran from the bush, come towards the camp, and welcome that particular person. So treat elephant with respect. There is sometimes, because I've been in wild doing guiding, it doesn't mean that I have more experience far than other people that in the area, but with my experience with an elephant, I've learned quite a lot. Is it true that elephant, if you really follow them and love them, not interact with them, they'll tend to really accept you and know you to the best? If you really interact them and they really wants to scare them, shoot them, make noise, they run away, they tend to register that they know that their entire life, and know yourself, general appearance, and know your voice, and know your scent. If you use a vehicle that really always approach them, they will know that sound, they calculate the sound. This is one of the species, of course, when we talk about the high level of intelligence, elephant is the best. Again, other species that I know they really recognize quite a lot and really love is domestic dog. They do the same. If you really harass them and give them hard time, if you really don't like them, they will know that. We'll be linking back to Lauren. She's in a bamboo. We'll still stay with this particular head. They're going towards Chelapen or Pangolin Trek.
apparently. I didn't get those comms. But we are finishing the Mowati for Peter. We have been not from the very north, because it's not possible nowadays, but from central all the way down. And it's been beautiful. This is my first time doing it when it's this thick in summer. It's just great. Do the on Gary and then circle around to Twin Dams. It's a good for sleeping animals. It's cool. A lot of them can also dig up for sand and sort of sleep in the cool sand, so they just love it. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to finish our dry river cruise and then head to Twin Dams.
All of them, they were there. They were there. Welcome back. We are with the breeding heart of the elephant, going in the area where we have started our show showing one of the waterhole called pangolin pan. This elephant really likes to go sampan. Maybe they're doing the riches that they normally do around in the area, or try to dig more about this pan, knowing that in future the elephant is one of the most intelligent species. They can calculate and know in years time, before even end of 2022, these elephants, as they're moving in the area, they tend to really do what is necessary for future of the area. I've seen before myself, with my experience, area where it's going to be eroded, you find that the elephant will have concern and push maybe a tree around that area, knowing that if big flood comes, or in a year, if they will move around and know that this in June or which date, it will be big flood in the area, and this area is going to be badly eroded. All the grass here, it won't sustain. All this area, it will be erosion. You tend to see elephant pushing trees on that area for the purposes to stop erosion. And now with that knowing exactly for sure that what's going to happen. Sometimes we tend to see that we really mourn a lot. We talk about overpopulation of the species itself. We tend to see elephant debugging. They calculate that there's no much vultures in the area, and nature balance has to take place. You find that they kill some of the trees with purposes. And as we can really research about the area, remember we are a human being. We have some mentality. We have some mentality with an elephant. We are a wild animal also. What we think and what we know. Mind that the elephant also know it.
For years, the game of leopard thrones in Juma has been a fascinating soap opera. Tingana has been affectionately known as the Duke of Juma for many years. But his path to the throne was not an easy one. Mvula was a legend from the south who tried hard to push the king from his territory.
This is the cat that I'm pretty sure Tingana was sniffing around for. That is Mvula. How exciting is this?
Eventually, Mvula lost, but his young son Quarantine started to push through from the east. At the beginning of 2018, an intruder arrived. His name was Hukamuri. The look on his face sent chills down your spine. WildEarth is launching non-fungible tokens attached to many of these individual animals that we have grown to love on WildEarth. Head over to our website to find out more.
Cape Nature is the chief custodian of the Western Cape of South Africa's natural environment. This highly successful organization strives to conserve the province's natural heritage to ensure a sustainable future. Besides nurturing nature, Cape Nature offers an authentic ecotourism experience to local and international visitors. And one of these experiences is walking amongst the penguins at Stony Point, or as we know it, Penguin Beach. WildEarth broadcasts live from here every day and is very privileged to be partnered with Cape Nature, who have focused their conservation efforts here. If you want to visit these iconic black and white African penguins for yourself, then head over to our website to find out more. Cape Nature. Conserve, explore, experience.
Look at this, the little one is up and about. Certainly hasn't had enough milk at this age. No amount of milk is enough. Oh, Corky. Too sweet. Oh, look at this. That is stunning.
Tune into WildEarth every single day. It's in your nature.
We have made it to Twin Dams. And I think I am just going to park in the shade, or we are going to park in the shade and maybe even get out and stretch our legs. Whew. It's a hot afternoon, but this is Twin Dams. Full, yet empty.
Station with Line 5, coming.
But in saying that, I find that this part of Twin Dams really, really boring. But if you look on the other side, the southern side, I'm actually going to go forward to give you a better view. This side is a twin. I used to call it Lauren's Pan because it's my favorite little pan. And this is not quite in full swing yet, but it is going to be soon. That's the famous weaver tree. And you can see those nests are old. I'm just going to get my binos out, but I don't think any of them are new. No, they all look... But generally speaking, it's not the hubbub of activity that it should be. So the weavers have obviously not quite made it back here just yet. I mean, when you sit here in the height of summer, the sounds, the noise, it's just incredible. And this little pan is very, very productive for reptiles, insects, even amphibians. We get a lot of bullfrog activity in there, and birds. A lot of birds will use this pan. So I'm not the biggest fan of the Twin Dams. I prefer the twin. Did you enjoy your drive along the riverbed, Peter?
Yeah, it's cool.
It's cool. It was cool. But it is, I mean, we've got a nice breeze picking up now, which is what we need. It's stiflingly hot. And the hyena den is just here. So we may as well pop in. You never know. But it is very hot. I don't imagine Ribbon will be sunbathing. She's not quite got that aspect to her. But we absolutely shall pop in. I just want to see if there's anything around here. You have great bird sightings here if you just stop and pay attention. Katie, this is a question. Well, Peter, this is a question for you from Katie, and she's asking, are you a keen birder?
Yes, I love kings.
You love... Are you good?
Mm-hmm.
Would you say you're a good birder?
No, I'm not so good birder. I'm starting to get there.
But you love it.
Yeah.
I think that's the same as me. You need to be sharp with the eyes. If you've not got these things, it's impossible. I mean, really, you have to be quick and be able to sort of hand-eye coordination straight away. So I think I'm the same as you. I love it, but I'm not very good, I must say. But I did see a marsh owl at Madikwe.
Okay.
So that was a new lifer for me. That was a new one on my bird list. It's actually quite rare, and I only have the bird app, I'm afraid, so I'm not able to show you all the photo, but I am going to show Peter. Special privileges, Peter. But if you Google it, you will see marsh owl, and it was just really nice to see a different species of owl that I've never seen before, because naturally we spend a lot of time here with the burrows, pearl-spotted, spotted eagle owls, and I saw a barn owl. It was a really good trip for me to see owls. Tick them off the list. But I don't see any bird activity right now. I wonder when the weavers really will come back. I remember it being late last year, so I remember it being around Christmas. So obviously we're now at the 1st of January. So where are they? I have seen lots of weaver activity, but nothing is happening at this tree. I mean, some of those nests might be new, but it's really not the hub of activity that it should be. Lindy is saying, lucky you, Peter, what a fantastic way to spend the new year. Dude, I've actually known Peter's name. I've connected with him and spoke to him through social media many times, I think, and it's just lovely to be able to meet that person and see that person in person, and of course take them on a safari ride. And whether you see lots of animals or whether you don't, at least you can have the experience and understand what it's actually like to be on the WildEarth vehicle, because it's not like a safari vehicle. It's very different, and we're multitasking on a whole other level, and well, you know, dealing with lots of car issues. But Wendy went to the hospital today. I don't know what Rexon did to my poor baby, but she's fixed now. And Rexon and I did promise you a dance. That's a lie. I promised you a dance with Rexon, but we're going to do it tomorrow because, of course, Peter's here. When I very first started going on bushwalk with Rexon, him and Herbie were my mentors, and they are the men that I look up to. They taught me everything that I know, especially on bushwalk, and we had so much fun out there. I think Rexon got me all my dangerous game encounters for the first 2 years, and we decided to do some Scottish ceilidh dancing. Or I decided and forced him into it. So I've twisted his arm and we're going to do it tomorrow. Some of you will remember it. We did something called the Gay Gordons, and it's a Scottish dance. It is something we learn at school as a child at school. You do ceilidh dancing, and I decided to teach Rex. So we'll do that for you tomorrow as a little New Year treat. It's such a pleasure to work with Rexon, really. Although times have changed in WildEarth, it's really nice to be around him again and hear from his experience. I mean, he grew up here. Rexon was born here. He knows the land better than anybody else. And between Rexon, Herbie and Morris, some of you will remember those guys. Were we doing bushwalks when you tuned in at Juma? No?
Yeah, I remember that.
You remember bushwalks?
Yeah,
so yeah, it was a long...
I remember that James was finding the lions.
I'm sure James was finding the lions. Oh, those were the really... I love doing bushwalk in Juma, and I think that's what got me to learn the property so well here. You know, all the animal tracks, all the tow-paths, all the game paths, all the hidden little water points, all the little puddles, the pans. Really, doing it on foot is what's going to teach you the layout of the land. Now, Peter, we're heading to the den because you said you really wanted to see Ribbon. She's a bit of a celebrity, old Ribbon. I feel like she should be grateful to me for that. But I don't know what to expect. It's obviously a very hot day, and I think it's still quite early, 5 o'clock. But let's just see. I also know Ribbon's little hidey hole spot where she sleeps. Must be snoozing. But I will just quickly show you the den. This is the den. Very cool. Not active right now, but we'll come back. It's just because it's far too hot right now, that's why. Right here, what more do they want? They've got their own water hole. The hyenas are just coming out today. Is it Ribs? Yes, it's Ribs. Hey, my girl. I knew your little sleeping spots. This is Peter. Peter, this is Ribbon.
Hi, Ribbon. Nice to meet you.
Let me just go forward a little bit. You can see her head, but just having a look at where she is now, and this is one of her little sleeping spots that I know of. It's naturally in the shade. It's not at the den, but it's close to the den, and you can see she's now gone flat. And look at that. I mean, if you were driving here and she didn't pop her head up, you're not going to see Ribbon. It's remarkable how summer just transforms things, and you could be quite literally driving past a leopard that's sleeping. But sadly, I think that's all we're going to get out from Ribbon the Snow. Peter got a nice photo. You see that ear? That's how you know it's Ribbon. But I know she's going to sleep for a while. I think we should bumble for another hour, take you to see some other things that you want to see, and then we will eventually make our way back to the den.
Shangile was born on the 3rd of February 2016 to Karula, the Queen of Juma. We watched her grow from birth to enforced independence when Karula disappeared. On the 19th of August 2016, we caught up with Shangile, but the afternoon did not go as well as we hoped. Tandy, Shangile's sister, was on the prowl. From nowhere she appeared, and a traumatic fight ensued. As darkness fell, Shangile escaped to a tree.
Shangile is just trying to catch her breath out there.
That was the last sighting of her on Juma. She disappeared into the wilderness just as her mother before her. If you want to celebrate the short life of Shangile, head over to our website to find out more.
Swatike emsabeni we baba babansati banhlupha we baba abafika endlini yami awungathi bangafike kathitimela we baba how city was a Friday, my darling, was a Friday.
This is that one, I don't know if you've seen guys make soap out of the leaves.
Yeah. Hey, my sweetie, was a Friday.
This warthog is in big trouble. He's got elephants all around. What are you going to do there, big guy? What are you going to do? Oh, he's pretty brave though. Oh man, he's not even moving. Look, that elephant is trying his best, but that warthog ain't budging. That's madness. That's so funny. And we have a winner. The warthog wins the standoff.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Welcome back. We arrive at Treehouse with the great monster, the hippo here. He's such an amazing big boy. He really likes the area. I've seen him several times. I don't know from here which dam he also moves. And I cannot tell which one exactly. But of course, there's few hippos that, or one or two hippos in the area that will have named them. So I'm not sure whether it's the exactly one, but it might be. You'll never know. Today I just came in here. I was just planning to come and share you with the beautiful trick that I have in my hand here. This is called the Ziziphus macronata, the buffalo thorn tree. This very special tree here, if you look at here, you'll notice there's a straight thorn, and this one is a hooked thorn. For those who celebrate New Year today and also wishing a good year for 2022, prosperity, good life, and all that, all these trees in nature, they have meaning, they talk. You just need to interpret whatever they're talking about, whatever they're saying about our life. I would really urge for those who are, again, who are in a moment celebration, celebrating for a new year. The straight thorn, it tells you the future, and the hook thorn, it tells you the past. So if you want to be healthy in our tradition, this is the best tree that encourage, more especially youth, those who in matric, those who are having new position in different areas where you're working. Those are facing with challenges. When you enter into New Year, this is something that really I would like to encourage everyone, all the viewers of WildEarth. Simply, you just forget the past. The bent one said the past. The straight one, that means future. So for you, of course, to do well in 2022, Happy New Year to all of you. Just forget the past and stick into future. All of this on the knowledge that we have. Welcome back. Here we're still at Treehouse Dam, a very lovely area, of course, for all general game to come around. We'd like to apologize for our technical problem that we're experiencing. I'm still with this Ziziphus macronata plant that I brought special for you, talking about all people that really celebrate for a year. I wish good luck with the straight tree and forget about what happened in 2021. We start to focus new life here. It really, 2022 might bring us a good luck for all of us, good healthy. That is more important. If we are healthy, we're able to live a better life. If we're not happy, you know that in the principle of wildlife, survival of the fittest, if you're not fit, you will be selected by the system out of the ecosystem. So this is one of the plants that really well respected in our society. You bring this plant into it's very important if you really bring it back into our society without reason, without rituals or ceremony, you will be stoned to death. We will be linking back to Lauren, who spotted beautiful elephants.
I'm having a mind blank. I don't know what you mean, yeah.
Kruger National Park, very beautiful.
Wow, I finally found some ellies. Wet ellies, I must say, so they've definitely been splashing around some water hole, which is rather... Oh, now we're dust bathing. Look at that. You know, when I see ellies, there is so much to say, but there's also just this element of just immersing yourself in their presence. They really are such wonderful beings to be around. Oh, the warthogs are running off. Do you see them on? And sometimes it's best just to be quiet and just observe for a while. There's so much happening, so much communication, so much emotion, so much interaction. Whether we can see it or feel it, it doesn't matter, it's happening. And it's summer, so I'm really hoping for my little stint that we get lots of elephant pool parties. You know what, Owen, let's go just slightly around the corner so we can get maybe their faces and not their bums. But these are my first ellies since coming back.
Such a peaceful feeling, yeah.
Really, really. Eva, interesting question. We're still looking at their bums, but that's okay. I mean, it really is the best. Well, they are the best bums in the bush, other than zebras. But let's not go down that road. Eva, a lot of a young calf's dietary sort of learning will take place from mum. So just like hyenas, just like leopards, just like lions, many young in the animal kingdom, even impalas, they mimic, and they just mimic mom. It's very strong on the behavior front. So just as we were talking this morning, any of you that were on board about hyena cubs sort of knowing their rank from mom mom's behavior, copying, mimicking mom's behavior. That's how they establish where they are in the hierarchy. It's very, very similar for many animals, especially elephants. Do as mom does. Mom walks this way, we go this way. Mom's doing this, we do this. And that's how they learn. It's a long process, and they will very much copy what mom is eating. Mom's eating this grass, we pull this grass. Mom's eating this tree, we pull this tree. So that will be very intrinsic for a long time, and naturally when they are adults and they maybe move to a different landscape, or the environment changes, or due to climate, for example, floods or droughts, it changes what vegetation is available to them, they will rely heavily on their senses. So if you think about it, the sensory realm, the phenomena of an elephant is so otherworldly to us, really. I mean, we are highly visual beings. We rely a lot on vision. I'm going to go forward a little bit. We read body language. Okay, not everyone can see, I fully understand that, but in general, humans are visual beings, and that's how we navigate our landscape. That's our primary sense. That's not the case for elephants, not at all. They're using a whole other world of senses, and their eyesight is quite poor. They're said to be short-sighted, and they can only really see for about 50 meters in front of them, and then their vision is not great. Their eyes are very small as well. Got to take that into consideration. So they're using their strong sense of smell. I saw that. I think it had an itch in an awkward place. They're using a strong sense of smell to detect chemicals. I mean, they can detect water for up to 12 miles away. Humans cannot do anything close to that. Some people can't even smell water. There's a fascinating video on YouTube about water, but I'll come back to that. And elephants will be able to smell. So if plants they are toxic, or they're not palatable, or they're not good for the elephant to eat, for their dietary system, the elephants will be able to detect that. Just like they know to eat certain medicinal plants to cure different problems that they have. Lutamboiti, latex for toothache. It's a combination of learning from mom and also using their senses. That was the one thing I found hard about Swalu. No elephants. I found that not so enjoyable. It's just so beautiful. Have you seen elephants having a pool party yet?
Yeah.
You have? Okay.
Was at Metamusa.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And the whole family in the pool. Making lots of videos of it.
You're too lucky. Peter's making me very jealous with all the sightings that he's had. And you know, when I was in Madikwe, the guide was telling me that they were having a sort of population issue where most of the males were young bulls. There was no older bulls that they do call the patriarch that have actually been proven recently in science to have just a fundamental role within elephant societies as the matriarch. And they were really struggling. The young bulls were out of control. They were being naughty. They're going through musk, their testosterones, and they were causing a lot of damage. And what they did was they actually brought down some Kruger bulls, really old Kruger bulls from this part of the world, reintroduced them into the environment, and within, I think, a space of a year, the entire behavior of these young bulls had changed because they learned from the older bulls, believe it or not. The older bulls, and it has only been realized recently, plays such a pivotal role in elephant societies. It's just been overlooked. And because the Kruger bulls have got really long legs, the bulls and the Krugers have really, really long front legs. I'll try and show you a good example a little bit later. They've noticed that all the elephants down at Madikwe, all the young ones, the calves, have started to grow really long legs. There's genetics for you. Okay, I think Peter and I, with Owen, are going to sit here a little bit longer and enjoy these ellies.
In the woodlands of Juma lives a lion pride with a taste for buffalo.
Look, 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 look. The rest of the pride wants to come in as well and help this female. This is insane. Now, this is what I was saying about lions and buffalo. It's absolute pandemonium.
WildEarth have been privileged to follow the Inkohuma pride for many years, and during that time we have grown to know them well. One of the most loved cats in the pride is Amber Eyes.
So typical Amber Eyes.
Born in 2012, she was not successful in rearing her first 2 litter of cubs and was seen as an aunt to the other youngsters in the pride.
Amber Eyes is... Oh, that is so magic.
Then eventually, towards the end of August 2019, we found her with 4 tiny cubs of her own. If you love the Inkohuma pride and want to celebrate their lives, head over to our website and buy a limited edition token for specific individuals within the pride.
Hello everyone, my name is JP. I'm one of your WildEarth eco-training bushwalk guides. So for many years you've been watching WildEarth directly from your laptop or computer. However, now you can watch it directly from your connected TV, your Apple TV, or from your Roku box. And if you are like me, always busy, you can now download the WildEarth app and view it directly from your mobile phone.
BirdLife South Africa, our country's only dedicated bird conservation organization. They have been very successful in a number of areas, including the conservation of more than 150,000 hectares of grasslands and estuary habitat, saving thousands of albatrosses in trawl and longline fishing, and training community bird guides as ambassadors for nature in rural areas. Celebrating their official 25th anniversary, they are sharing 25 of their top success stories across their social media platforms. BirdLife South Africa is currently striving towards the conservation of 132 bird species that are heading for extinction. If we conserve birds, we will protect other biodiversity and important habitats that provide clean water and clean air for humans. Their work is forever ongoing. People who love birds can become a member of BirdLife South Africa or make a donation towards a bird conservation project.
Welcome back. We are at Treehouse still waiting for this hippo. He's very active at the moment. One of the species, of course, that hippo eat grass, doesn't eat meat. The hippo eat grass is one also of the species in the area. It's also on a list of bulk grazing animals. They collect quite a lot of grass in the surrounding. Hippo all the time, wherever they move, you tend to see is as if someone have come and cut the grass in a very same profile level. So it's really one of the species that eat a lot. That's the reason if we do have a drought here, these are more species that are vulnerable. First, you consider hippo. And also, it's one of the species in other areas of the reserve. Of course, if you have more hippo, you have to relocate them out of the area and go somewhere else, because these are the species that will eat more grass than any species around in the area. Secondly, of course, the buffalo will be on the list. Elephant are mixed feeders. They eat branch and old twigs, leaves, grass at the same time. But the species that really eat more, hippopotamus, they collect more grass in the surrounding. They're very sensitive to the sun, of course, and also from the drought. If they do have a drought in the area or heat in the area, they cannot survive that well. It's actually how nature gets control when it comes to hippos. It's one that have a very soft skin, easy to get skin cancer and die, more especially in a very hot years that is dry in the area. If we do have a drought, remember, it will be very hot in the area where there will be no water. So the skin itself is not going to be lubricated from the water, or the membrane that have in the water is not going to gain water in order to take the skin more safety. It has to have those cracks from the heat, and they can die after that, because the blood flow from the skin itself is not going to take place. Some of it you must see hippo from the sun, from those skin cancer, you're bleeding everywhere, and that is not going to survive. That means it's going to die. So some good here, of course, in the area where rain is high, we tend to see hippos really more excited going out of first rain, even in the daylight. That means life. The water means life to all species. Of course, without grass, without water, we cannot have those lions and all these cats or predators that are moving into the area. We'll be leaving this hippo. Look like he is getting a little bit more shy now. He doesn't want to show. I was hoping that he will show us as he's doing. Let us look at that. Wow. Wow. Yes, is what I was waiting for. You can see the hippo tusk or canines are so huge and are there for a reason. It's for defense mechanism. They defend themselves from other species using those tusk, or you may call it canine, because it can be really called same thing. But I prefer to call them canine because they're inside. You cannot see them sticking outside like an elephant and others. Of course, they can cause a really damage from one another or anything that might be. A hippo is recorded in Africa is the most dangerous animal that kills more people, especially if you get between hippo and the water. You might challenge the fight. So normally with the canine they have, if you happen that you accidentally come across with the hippo or get in between the hippo and the water, you know that this can snap you into two pieces. They have a very incredible biting force. As a big animal, as you can see, the shake and all bite, it can really, you won't survive. He looked like very, very big bull. Of course, I wonder why he doesn't have females into the area. Maybe he might be a little bit old. I cannot tell. I cannot able to differentiate between young bull and the old bull at the moment, because they're always inside water, unless if you really have a record of that particular individual hippo. It looks the same at the moment. Elephants, very easy to identify. Lions are easy to identify. And buffalo, now we tend to see that WildEarth program, identifying all these hyena, it's one of the things that comes new into my life. And I'm really trying to copy that from Lauren and the others who can identify very well these hyenas. It's one of the species that were difficult to me to identify, same as hippopotamus. But it tells you it's not that much difficult. If you dedicate it to really know a specific animal, you'll manage to identify and know them according to the knowledge. So you have to copy the knowledge from those who have knowledge and apply it. Okay, we're gonna leave this boy cruising here in the waterhole and try to head slowly to the west. Amazing. I don't know whether Debbie have seen that. I've seen diving of the woodland kingfisher. It was such amazing. And this hippo is really collecting twigs inside water, which means it's really want to be active. The moment I start the engine, something takes place. But anyway, let's move west. I'm just hoping I'm going with time and good timing. I had a report, I had a report here this morning about wild dogs around west. So we'll head in that area and link them back to Tessa, which is around the waterhole.
And his father.
Okay.
So, yeah, after a time it was too much for him alone, and he asked for Peter.
Okay, once again. I don't think I have comms, but we're live. Hi, Peter and I just talking about life. But he did want to see Chitwa Dam, so we made it, and I also wanted to see Chitwa Dam. I really would love to be able to pick out Rolo, but I have a funny feeling I'm not going to be able to. I've spent far too much time away. I mean, I do see a young hippo. Rolo is one of the smallest. So I do wonder, no, not them, the ones in front, Owen, if that little one is possibly Rolo. And I say possibly because I can't confirm. And what a wonderful story Rolo was. From birth, I have a funny feeling that actually might be Rolo. Hello, little one. I'd love to see how big it's getting. Huge, I imagine. Oh, there's another huge animal. I didn't see you. Where on earth did you come from? He's climbing out the water. I think he was behind that island. You gotta love it. You come down to this water body and there's just life everywhere. And as you all know, I love Chitwa Dam very much. I won't hear you. And what's that?
Elephants more intelligent than humans. Dog name Lava.
What is the question?
Are elephants more intelligent than humans?
Are elephants more intelligent than humans? I'm not sure who that's from. I don't have any comms, I'm afraid. Oh, dear. I think that is a... No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to change my wording. That is an impossible question. I'm really not sure how you think that one person like myself could ever answer that. We are so out of touch with intelligence of animals, and we live in a very human world, and everything we think is human, everything we do is human, everything we perceive is human. And that's why I talk about phenomenology quite a lot, to try and get out of that human box that we're in. We love to put things in boxes. I do it myself all the time, and then I think, what am I doing? We really need to think outside the box, literally. And for someone like me to quantify whether a being like what we're looking at is more intelligent than myself, I think it's absolutely impossible. If I was to take a guess, I would say in a way they are. I think animals have knowledge and an intelligence about the world that humans are we're completely removed from due to the way that we live, the society that we live in. I think animals can detect things, can feel things, they know things that we just are not able to tap into. So intelligence, I've actually got lots of books on animal intelligence, and it's a huge topic, but I would definitely never say humans are more intelligent than elephants. Not at all. I think most animals are more intelligent. But intelligence is difficult to quantify, and I often talk about the Netflix series. Oh my goodness, I've just had a complete mind blank. What is that Netflix series that I always talk about? Well, anyway, it will come to me. And one of them is on animal intelligence, and in trying to find out what sort of mental level other species operate, the real challenge comes not from the animals that you're looking at, but also within us. Our human attitudes, our creativity, our imagination are very much part of the story. We love to put our own take on things, of course, because we're human, we're going to be human. Naturally, there's nothing wrong with that. But we do love to project our human element onto that. Okay, I think we will leave Chitwa shortly, since I don't appear to have any comms, and we might check back in at the Hyena Den.
morning, Karula. How do you do? Lovely to meet you. Oh, look at that. Hi.
Oh, look, it's just too special. She's such a fantastic mother. Isn't that incredible? Karula's blown a bubble. The W is there, and the O and the next W. So there's the wow on Karula.
I'm not going to come too close because I know you got your babies. And hello, you old friend. Isn't she spectacular?
Look at that, isn't that incredible?
Nothing beats sitting around a campfire at night whilst on safari, listening to the calls of the wild and chatting to your guide. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, then you can enjoy this from the comfort of your home. Imagine hearing bush stories from your favorite WildEarth guide and reliving their highs and lows of a life spent in the wild. Every month, WildEarth explorers will be treated to an exclusive fireside chat, special occasions, hot topics, and deep dives into the WildEarth characters.
Everything else is just welling up inside of you out in nature. You know, some people think I'm weird, but I have an absolute joy. I have a good time.
No, I enjoyed myself thoroughly today.
WildEarth explorers, it's in your nature.
This is incredible. Looks like vivid monkeys do sometimes go for swims. I heard something splash, but we couldn't see what it was in the long grass. Now I just saw that thing swimming there. This is incredible. I hope it gets to the bank. There are crocodiles in this dam. And it looks like, you see that monkey climb up into the tree? Wow.
Expect the unexpected here on WildEarth daily.
Welcome back from drive. We'd like to apologize for technical problem that we're experiencing. We were with the lovely kudu. We have left them. They're all moving slightly to the east of the thicket. It's in the nature of that species to be always moving in the thicket, and how actually they get away from the lions is to jump and maneuver into a thicket, which they are so far to that, which is the only species, them and Nyala, they're really good running into. Yes, I just spot leopard tracks here. Look like going direction where we're going. It's heading, maybe if we check, Davi, if we can check these termites around in the area, this is where the leopard tracks are heading. We know Tandy, and she was reported into the area. Tandy is very old at the present. She will be taking time also to move from one part to another. But of course, I was really impressed. We had a report that she's hunting warthogs. Mainly when the leopard is old, it also shows that the strength is not going to be the same when it's still young. The ability of hunting species that can fight back easy as warthog, you tend to see, in most cases with my experience, the female leopard will reduce that in order to hunt something like as far as impala or a steenbok, something small, because if you get hurt, it will be the end of your life. Nobody can really hunt for you. Actually dangerous if you're a leopard. That's the reason you find species as far as leopard. They are not like lions, which they hunt in social, in pride. So if one member of individual pride get hurt, it'll be easy to survive. But leopards, if we get injuries, it's very slim for that particular animal to survive, because you have to hunt for yourself. Nobody can hunt for you. And when you get weak, we all know that out in nature, survival of the fittest. If you're not fit, you will be selected by other species that compete with you into environment. As far as a hyena, a lion, of course, another leopard that needed to take some length of your area, she will manage to bring you down. So leopards have to be always, or a leopard in nature, they're always extra careful on whatever they do. But again, leopard is one of the most clever species around here, and more successful, because they can really hunt alone. They can crawl and ambush and surprise the impala or anything that but hunting, and the species is not going to really get away. Okay, we have these tracks here. Look like a leopard, but it's not the same leopard that we trying to check around. Tracks are slightly bigger, but let us take an opportunity to check the fire break. It might take us back into Treehouse Dam because the tracks is going to a fire break here. I will be lucky if we find this leopard walking along the fire break. If it's not a skittish leopard, yes, of course, we'll manage to see what might be. I haven't seen photo span up to so far here. It could be another leopard that they came through into the area. It will be nice also if we can see this leopard. That means we're going to see another leopard for the first time moving into the area. It's been a long time. Of the area that I was talking about, Gary Main Shibam Road that looked like Shibam Road moved to the east. We haven't seen quite activity of leopards around in the area. It looked like she do have come and once test the area, but she doesn't come quite low down up to this area. Let's see. I have to go back if a leopard went here, unless if she's right on top of the timbered mound, is where you may be able to see. But look at the tracks is still good, still walking. What I need to do is to check the nearest waterhole, or because of the impala movement in the area, if a leopard gets to center impala, he might strengthen and come all the way down here, try to hunt this impala ahead of us. There's two impala which are really on the road. As he's walking along the road, you might get to spot this impala and start to focus on the impala. We'll see how it goes. Quite a few impala that are in the area, some of them are in the thicket. Also, if you want to find a leopard, if you think it's hunting, you need to know your wind direction, because impala, leopard will opposite wind direction all the time. So it won't like the impala get to smell him before he get to spot these impalas. Let's try. We had a very strange call earlier on, myself and Davi, while with the hippo. We had the francolins. We were not happy just below the dam wall. And that could be a leopard, because leopard would like to walk along the drainage lines. Those are the areas where the leopard prefer the most. I will come back here. If I get to see this impala in the same area, it means that the leopard have walked past in the surrounding. I'm trying to check the tracks from the both sides. This the grass cut road or grass road. It's not easy to see tracks. It's very difficult, unless if the grass is very low. It's where you might see. But of course, what I'm really working on at the moment is not just because the tracks is there. I have to think like a leopard sometimes. If there's no water in the area, of course, Treehouse Dam it will be the best area for a leopard to go. First, it was very hot. You might be going down towards the waterhole, and from there, maybe you might to see a leopard. It might happen that the minute we left Treehouse Dam, the leopard was still coming in that area. Wants to know from me what is the most interesting thing I know about leopard. It will be a difficult question to answer that, Vali. Let me say, in terms of my experience with a leopard, I have witnessed quite a lot of things. I'm trying to put all together my experience out here with the leopards. I know that leopards most of the time, what we know and what we almost read about the leopard, yes, it's true, but there's something that is not yet recorded in the information. A leopard really is one of the most clever species, of course, when it comes to protecting itself, and also when it comes to use other species to help the leopard living, to reduce the weight from the animals that they kill. They can use a hyena, they can use different animals. We'll come back to that answer very for the most experience with the leopard.
Look at that, there's a tiny leopard cub. Karula has given birth overnight. Look at the little guy who just came around the corner. That is incredible. That's probably his first solo kill.
Oh, that is wonderful. Oh, and have a look, here comes Hosanna with the monitor lizard.
Oh, Hosanna, I don't think I've ever seen a leopard fall out of as many trees as I've seen you fall out of. Hosanna, of course, at the same time decided to go climbing up the tree. He's just nearly fallen out of it again.
Hosanna's flat. Couple Impala there. Once he starts hunting, he never stops.
Look at that, he's running away. The buffalo is chasing Hosanna at the moment. Hosanna is going very fast now, trying to run away from this very big animal coming. That was so funny.
Our bodies are made up of about 60% water, which means that in a very short space of time, you can dehydrate completely. A relatively efficient way of collecting water early in the morning is to take an absorbent material like a sock and to walk through the grass, absorbing the condensed dewdrops on the grass. Once the material is saturated, you can then squeeze it out into a container, or you can suck it out directly into your mouth.
My favorite animal is a leopard, purely because I just think they are just the epitome of feline grace and power, and the way they can move about in any environment and remain hidden until they want to be seen, I just find incredibly intoxicating, and they're amazingly beautiful.
Catch up with the guides daily here on WildEarth.
Explain. I'm sorry, I did have a grape juice or two last night. I am sorry, it's called Explained, and I talk about it all the time. Do you see something? Oh, the Mowati, yes, the Mowati. Let me just quickly check for that Triagama. This is his territory, this Jackalberry. It's always a nice sighting when you see a Triagama. But yes, if you ever are just looking for something on Netflix that's not horror or Tiger King, I don't even know what you would classify Tiger King as, I tell you. But if you're just looking for something really snackable and easy to digest in 15 minutes, check out Explained. It's a series, and each episode... no, that's not the Agama. He's not there, Owen. Oh, dog. And each episode is on something very different. And it's very visual, lots of graphics. Why is it visual? Why are there lots of graphics? Because the species that are watching are highly visual. So it's really easy to compute. And a lot of the information that goes into the human brain, over 80% of it is visual. We deal with that better than anything else. And to go back to my original point, there is an episode on animal intelligence. It's really, really interesting. It just goes into how do you quantify intelligence? And even for humans, okay, we do IQ tests, great. You say you've got a really high IQ, you're a genius, you're intelligent, great. But what about these people whose brain just work in a different way? You get people that are very textbook and quite academic. I would say that's probably the category that I would fall into. And then you get people like Darby who are so creative. I mean, Darby can do things with cameras and pictures and editing and technology that I cannot even begin to understand how he does that. So you get people's brains work in different ways. And I think that is a good point when it comes to the animal kingdom. How do you quantify it? How do we quantify how intelligent an animal is? And there's lots of different markers and there's lots of different cues. But that episode breaks it down, and it's a really, really good episode. Okay, we're back at the den because Peter really wants to see the cubs, and of course so do I. And I just thought it's getting a little bit cooler. You have seen the hyena cubs.
Yeah.
You've just never seen them small. Okay, so this is going to be his first time seeing what we call the little black bears. Hello, black bears. This is Peter. Look at you guys. Now, I did speak to Michael Fleetwood today, and I believe one of them has been identified as male, but the other one is still a question mark, and I thought so. I don't believe the more submissive one would be a female. Bless me. That wouldn't make much sense to me, but we really need to do some genitalia checking. And you can see that they're now very mobile, learning the layout of the den. Honest with you, and I don't know where the map is. I had a bit of a disastrous morning. Wendy had a flat tire and wasn't working very well this morning, so I don't actually know where the map is right now, but I will I will thoroughly get that map for you to show you. But the den is literally just north of Twin Dams. It's actually a drainage line that I know really, really well because we follow a lot of leopards through here. And we've had Shasha here recently. Tlalamba loves it here. And it's just south of that drainage line. But I will get the map for you tomorrow, Nikanova, somewhere. And I promise you, I will point it out to you. Hello, you guys. This is the closest you've come to the car. I love this age. This is the age where they're naughty, but still not entirely leaving Mom's side. Oh, you're gonna eat grass. Yummy. Yummy, yummy grass. I can assure you, you're not going to be eating grass in a few months' time. Many of you are saying they're getting so confident, I know. You know, the story of finding this den really, it's just such a great story involving the anti-poaching team and the surprise that we all had. And I got myself in such a tizzy, as many of you will remember, circling round and round and round, trying to find the cubs in the den, and I was confused. And to cut a long story short, we got there and found you guys. Oh, you don't like the grass? Nah, nope. I didn't think so. In all of that, there was the sort of turbulence of the Juma clan. I think that's Spas. I think that's from you. And you're asking, would they stick together, these siblings, when they grow up? That is a good question, and I guess it depends on the sex. So naturally, I believe we do know one is boy, but I am just going to really inspect when I get the chance to look at their genitalia and really confirm, but let's just say hypothetically they are two girls, then yes, they would stick together. There would be a bond between them and they would stay within the clan. Females don't disperse. However, if there was one boy, or if there is one boy and one girl, then yes, the girls would stay and the boy would most likely disperse. They don't all disperse, but most likely it's better for them if they do. And the last scenario, if they are two boys, then they could stick together, actually, and they could disperse together, but they could also disperse in different directions. So that was a long-winded answer to your question there. Oh, you guys know how much I love you. Peter's very happy right now. He's got a big smile on his face. He said, I've never seen cubs that small in the black bear stage because, let's face it, they look nothing like Mum. I mean, look at the tail. You see that one at the top? Oh, and yeah, you got it. Look at that tail. That's not a hyena tail. I'm not talking about Ribbon's tail because she no longer has one. I'm talking in general. That's not a hyena tail. They're not the same color. They don't have spots. When they're very, very young, their ears haven't even popped yet. So really, they don't look anything like spotted hyenas. They're clearly vegetarian at this stage in life. The amount of fun sticks provide to young animals is never ending. Oh, this is perfect. I'm so glad we managed to take a turn back here. So we're just going to sit here for a few more minutes and enjoy it.
The spotted hyena is one of Africa's most dominant predators. They are incredible hunters and infamous scavengers. Ribbon is the matriarch of the Juma clan, and she rules with an iron fist. She emerged from the bottom to become the lady in charge by challenging the status quo and overthrowing Corky.
Sitting pretty as the king of the castle.
Currently, she is denning with two brand new cubs.
Now, isn't this just awesome? We're sitting here with the Juma clan, and this particular individual, her name is Ribbon.
WildEarth will be following their lives as they grow from tiny, vulnerable cubs to full-grown adults who can survive in the African wild. If you are fascinated by this famous clan, then why not buy a non-fungible token of one of their unique members? Head over to our website to find out more.
Do you dream of traveling to a far-flung wilderness location where life continues as normal? A place where you can escape to nature and breathe. If you become a WildEarth explorer, then this could soon become a reality. Subscribe today and stand a chance to win regular travel prizes. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. Cape Nature is the chief custodian of the Western Cape of South Africa's natural environment. This highly successful organization strives to conserve the province's natural heritage to ensure a sustainable future. Besides nurturing nature, Cape Nature offers an authentic ecotourism experience to local and international visitors. And one of these experiences is walking amongst the penguins at Stony Point, or as we know it, Penguin Beach. WildEarth broadcasts live from here every day and is very privileged to be partnered with Cape Nature, who have focused their conservation efforts here. If you want to visit these iconic black and white African penguins for yourself, then head over to our website to find out more. Cape Nature. Conserve, explore, experience.
Of course, we're still sitting here, everybody. There's nothing quite like climbing on Mum's head. Oh, I love this stage. I love when they're exploring. And Peter and I were just talking about talking to animals. I do it regularly. And maybe people laugh at me, maybe people think I'm crazy, but I really do talk to animals, all animals, dogs, cats, the rock monitor lizard is outside my room, the hyena cubs, the birds, the bushbucking camp. And I found a nice quote for you all. You all know I love quotes, and I actually saved it in my phone so that I could read it to you. And it's from someone called Chief Dan George, but I thought it's actually really lovely, and I thought some of you would appreciate it. So here we go. One thing to remember is to talk to the animals. If you do, they will talk back to you. But if you don't talk to the animals, they won't talk back to you. Then you won't understand. And when you don't understand, you will fear. And when you fear, you will destroy the animals. And if you destroy the animals, you will destroy yourself. Isn't that lovely?
Nice.
Yes. I thought some of you might appreciate that. And it goes back to lack of knowledge is dangerous. Where have they gone? Did you see Owen?
Behind him to the right.
And you know, at this stage when they are den bound, it's actually quite safe. Tobias, good question, but absolutely not. Isn't it amazing? They are not part of the Canidae family. They are not one of 34 canids that we know today, like the wild dogs, like the wolves, like the jackals, not at all. But behaviorally and morphologically, they do look like dogs. They're not at all. If you actually put them on the sort of taxonomical scale, they are slightly more closely related to cats than dogs, but still very distant from cats. Their closest relatives are actually the mongoose. I know, bizarre. But they are in a family of their own, the Hyenidae family, with the brown, the striped, the spotted, and the aardwolf. It's a very unique little family, but I completely understand why you're saying that. They are morphologically and behaviorally very like dogs. The fifth elephant, you gotta love that one. I haven't actually seen the state of Ribbon's tail. I left just before we got a really good look at it. But it was me that suspected that she's lost her tail. And I believe there's still a stump. So she will be able to erect that stump and put it up, but it won't have quite the full effect of showing dominance that the other hyenas will be able to do. So in terms of intra-specific communication among the hyena clan, she may struggle. Ooh, how lovely. Yes. Are we keeping you awake, Ribbon? All 34 teeth of hers. So yeah, she may struggle in terms of communication, but if she's at the bottom, to be honest, she's at the bottom. Oh, little family portrait. Get snapping away, Peter. This is your moment.
Yes.
You know, hyenas are just fantastic mothers. Many animals in the animal kingdom are actually fantastic mothers. And they don't really get recognized for it. There's a lot of dedication that goes into being a hyena mom. in Hong Kong. Happy New Year. Lovely to hear from you. It's so nice to hear familiar names and new names, of course. Joy, I don't believe so. I really don't believe so, but it would be fascinating. I think it depends on the extent of the damage. I would actually really love to see Ribbon's tail right now. Ribbon? Can you show us your tail? Okay. That's a no. But no, I don't believe there is data or any sort of literature on that, but it's fascinating because you don't really often see hyenas without tails. So I think it was possibly Corky, and I'm speculating, but I think it was possibly Corky that went for her tail, take it off, and that's putting her at a disadvantage in terms of communication. But I don't believe so, Joy. And really, when you type in spotted hyenas into Google Scholar, the literature is becoming more and more, but it's still not so prevalent, especially on clan dynamics and things like tails. A lot more work needs to go into hyenas. It's just so peaceful here, and it's so green and lush, and it's cool. They're in the perfect shaded spot. What have you got? Grass. More grass. You see, this one's eating the flower. Oh no, we're anal pasting. Okay. We're trying to anal paste. Again, mimicking mom. Don't really know what they're doing, not acting territorially, just mimicking. We see the others do it, so they're doing it. It's intrinsic, but they don't really know what they're doing. I put anal pasting in the Christmas charades that I was playing with Bobby's family. Ah, that went down well. Sugar bits, also fantastic to hear from you. No, I don't think they do. I personally don't think they do. They're also dark. Maybe slightly similar facial structure, but really other than that they don't. You should Google them and do a little comparison. I don't think they look anything like spotted hyena cubs. Hyena cubs are also very cute. I used to remember spending the entire drive with the Dane. Entire drives. And I love it when the Dane is really communal. And everybody's here. That's when you see interactions between individuals. And that's when you really start to know who's where, who's submissive, who's dominant. I wonder about the sex of this pair. I don't think the submissive smaller one can be female. That doesn't make sense to me. I'm wondering if it is two males, but I don't know. I haven't had a look. Zach, I mean, it's quite sort of complicated down there. Anyway, I wouldn't say a tunnel system to protect from predators per se. I mean, the entire mound protects them from predators, really. I mean, mammalian predators. There's really not much that will get... Ribbon, another yawn. My goodness. There's really not much in terms of mammals that would get in there to get them. Snakes, on the other hand, that's a different story. But it's really quite safe as it is. But I imagine there will be some sort of tunnel system to some extent, and lots of different little rooms and caves and places for them to sleep. They'll do a bit of digging. At this age, they will do digging. Oh. I love it when Ribbon lies like that. It's so ridiculous. But yes, to some extent there will be protection down there. I don't really know how deep it'll go for these cubs. I would love to stick a GoPro to their head. Not that that's possible, but just watch. Days. I met two of your bucket list items, Peter. Yes. Kalamba's a bit of a challenge, but we got the kingfisher and we got the hyena cubs. Ribbon does look very lazy, but A, she's a mother, and B, she will be active all night long. So we're just going to sit here a tad longer before we bumble off to see what else we can find.
Three brothers named the Avoca males arrived in Juma in 2018.
So this is our first good look at the Avoca males. So they're definitely a bit older than what I thought when we were looking at them. They're just under 5.
This area had recently been vacated by the Birmingham boys. The Avocas grabbed the opportunity and took over the Talamati and Inkohuma prides quickly. In 2019, they were seen mating with females from both prides and went on to sire cubs with them.
We are very privileged to be watching the Inkohuma pride as the sun comes up.
The most recognizable lion in this coalition is Darkmane. Aside from the dark mane that gave him his name, he can be recognized by a distinctive limp. This limp stems from an injury to his right leg he sustained while taking down a buffalo with the Inkohuma pride. If you want to celebrate these individual cats, then head over to our website to learn more about our non-fungible tokens.
If I could take you on safari all day and all night, I would. But unfortunately, it's not always the best time to see the animals. Now, in between safaris, you can watch the WildEarth channel with loads of extra shows. If you have a connected television, Apple TV or Roku box, then download the WildEarth app, and if not, then just find it on the App Store on your phone.
Wildlife trafficking remains a growing problem in South Africa, and often made worse by the way the media portray this complex issue. The Wildlife and Environment Society of South Africa, WESA, have recently embarked on a program whereby they train reporters to better tell stories of wildlife trafficking.
In my community, wildlife conservation is mostly something other people do, and I would like to change that. My name is Iman Singli. I told people I met that the pangolin is one of the most trafficked animals on the planet. But what is a pangolin, they said? Why is it in danger? This is what made me decide that the pangolin story must be told. If we are to play a part in preventing the extinction of this animal, then we must all be part of the battle.
A partnership between WWF South Africa and WESA, supported by USA.
We are here at Twin Dams, hearing different sort of species of birds that are calling. I can hear the Galway bird to the east of us. They are vigorously calling. In most cases, the Galway bird is one of the species that can alert you the presence of predators around in the area. While I was taking this opportunity, waiting here to hear if we can hear other species, of course. I can hear the elephant trumpeting. A very good sign also to move in the area where the elephant might be shouting. Sometimes they might be shouting for predators. So we have two locations that I have to choose. One is where I have these go away bird. They're busy talking. Go away, go away, go away. In nature, you need to read all of that. If you don't read the article of the bush, you will have a problem to find these animals. Sometimes even your survival, if you're subject to live in a bush, you have to listen all the time. I see something. Okay, there's an impala and a waterbuck. I thought maybe it's something that's moving in a direction, maybe. Of course, wild dog or lions. Look like, let's carry on. Waterbuck in this time of the year. Some of them already have youngster. They hidden the youngster in the thicket, and they can come and join with the youngster to nest. So sometimes you find these lions and leopards. If they get a scent of those areas where they hidden the youngster, they'll concentrate on those areas, hunting the baby waterbuck. Of course, while it's still young, we tend to see that with all our sighting records around in the area, leopards, they kill more of the baby waterbuck than the adult waterbuck. Let's see how it goes. Maybe Tandy around in the area. One thing that I would never ever forget about waterbuck, I'm talking about nearly 30 years back. There was 3 cheetah in the area. They hunted a baby waterbuck and killed it, and the mother come try to rejoin on the youngster and find these 3 cheetah and start to chase this cheetah off. And it was very aggressive female. You can see that she was really in a high mood of being angry, chasing 3 cheetah off away from the baby, and the mother started to feed on the baby. It was something that I never seen before in my life. I was so shocked the way I've eating. It's very common. You find some of the antelope, they do eat meat, but it's not common to find them eating. You see, you look at the grey decker, they're very found eating meat, of course. I mean, grey decker and grey antelope, grey decker, are very found eating meat. If you really in the area, if there's any carcass around in the area left by lions and other species, mainly warthog, grey decker, other species that you might find them feeding on the carcasses. So all the even impala, the reason why the impala, you don't find them quite a lot on this, but they have those incisors that they can eat meat, and also they can digest meat. You find them all when they give youngster, they eat that. That shows you they can really eat meat. Shows you they can really eat meat. But the reason why they do that, eating that is most where the youngster was wrapped to get a clear scent of the youngster. It's more important. And that's the reason the mother will keep the youngster if it's born. If it's a grey decker, impala, anything kudu, waterbuck, will keep the youngster at least for a week to recognize the mother scent, and the mother able to recognize the young scent and her voice. Very interesting. Before it introduced to the rest of the herd, which are lions, leopard. Lions will take at least 3 months, 4 months before you introduce the cubs to the pride. So all of them, they have to know their mother very well. But from all the cats, they're born undeveloped in order to really develop the muscles of walking and all eyesight, all different sorts of muscle that might have to develop in order to be in a world of competition. Able to recognize the mother's voice, because sometimes you tend to see other lion go into the den of the other lions, wanted to kill the cubs. So the youngster, if another intruder come into that vicinity or den, if you start to call, they'll recognize this is not their mother's voice. They'll stay hidden. Because sometimes you find that the lion will keep the youngster in the caves, in an area where it can able suit or fit the youngster. The adult lion cannot able to get inside those caves or burrows that might be leaving the youngster behind. We're on Chitwa Catline, guys. We headed south. Now we're gonna head it north, looking in the area. It'll be good. Tiani, lovely question. Each and every animal, leopard, lion, hippo, elephant, impala, they copy from their mothers. Whatever they're doing, they have to copy from their mothers, learn from their mothers on a daily basis. Is our actually mother the great teachers when it comes to the offspring of all different sort of species. The same as human being. Mother play a role. There's no difference between the wildlife. Exactly the same. Happy to come a little bit more high ground here, heading slowly to the north. Maybe we might be lucky. Last 2 weeks, they recorded sighting of a cheetah very close to Chitwa Catline, cut to the east. So the same cheetah might come here, start to walk along this road. Because some of the animals, of course, they've been in the area, they know. It's just a matter of competition is very high. At the present, wherever it's lion, we tend to see less other species that really like cats, leopard, cheetah, and more, etc., etc. Even wild dogs, they tend to avoid. We'll be looking around the Chitwa Catline straight to the north. And at the meantime, we'll be linking back to Lauren, which she's in a bamboo.
The den, I'm afraid. There was a traffic jam. The hyena den is popular. But that was a wonderful sighting, and I know that Peter enjoyed it. It's so lovely to see the cubs and how they're growing up. And what I was touching on earlier is that at this stage, when they're den bound, they're actually relatively safe. The sort of mortality rate, believe it or not, goes up as they start to get more mobile. That's the problem. When they start to move from the den and start to get mobile with mom and then maybe get lost, and that's naturally what happened with little Shimbulu. That was... Owen, you were there. Owen, John T. Darby. They all saw everything, and they all still talk about how traumatizing that really was with little Shimbulu. But that's nature, that's what happens, and it's because he was young and mobile, not strong enough, not wise enough actually, not wise enough at all, and got himself into a situation with lions. So from being den bound, little cubs that we've just seen, the mortality rate of hyenas actually increases as he starts to get more mobile, but they're not quite an adult. And that's when we lost Plonk, Swana, we lost Paddy as well, Ribbon's other litter, when they started to get older, when they started to get curious and adventurous. You can't keep them stuck in a termite mound forever. But anyway, I don't know where I'm going to go next. I'm thinking about going west. My mission this stint, ladies and gentlemen, is to meet the TP tortoise. I have not met this leopard. Everyone has met this leopard, except myself. So that's my mission. Have you met him? No? Okay. Sorry, I eat my words. Owen and I are going to meet tortoise. Tortoise? Pan. You've not met him? No. Okay, I eat my words again. We all want to meet him. But I know that most of the presenters have seen him, and for some reason I have just not had that luck. But if I spend enough time in the West, that luck is going to come. And wouldn't it be nice if Shidulu moved her little bundle of joy, or bundles of joy, over this way? You still have a chance to see him, though.
I hope so.
Yeah, you do. You're here for a little bit longer. You do.
He's in the area.
And he's a very habituated, relaxed, easy male leopard, I believe.
I only see females now.
Oh, maybe there's a reason, Peter?
Yes.
Okay, so we need to find the male leopards, and our male leopard, of course, is, well, Mowati, the ghost leopard. He pops up every now and then, but generally speaking, Mowati is not a leopard that you will see. Look at that sky. I'm just going to go a little bit forward for you. Oh, Owen's getting a, look at that, professional. As I move, I hope you're all feeling like you're on the safari vehicle with me. Peter obviously is here with me, but the rest of you, I hope you feel like you're on the back of this vehicle, looking at the skyline. Nice work, Odie. We are going to continue bumbling west and, well, hopefully get lucky with a male leopard.
The spotted hyena is one of Africa's most dominant predators. They are incredible hunters and infamous scavengers. Ribbon is the matriarch of the Juma clan, and she rules with an iron fist. She emerged from the bottom to become the lady in charge by challenging the status quo and overthrowing Corky.
Sitting pretty as the king of the castle.
Currently, she is denning with 2 brand new cubs.
Now, isn't this just awesome? We're sitting here with the Juma clan, and this particular individual, her name is Ribbon.
WildEarth will be following their lives as they grow from tiny, vulnerable cubs to full-grown adults who can survive in the African wild. If you are fascinated by this famous clan, then why not buy a non-fungible token of one of their unique members? Head over to our website to find out more.
When on safari, there's nothing better than an evening spent under the stars chatting around a fire, with the sounds of the wild all around you. If you sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, you can build your own memories by joining our guides for regular fireside chats. Subscription payments can be made by PayPal, credit card, and now bank transfer. WildEarth Explorers, it's in your nature. BirdLife South Africa, our country's only dedicated bird conservation organization. They have been very successful in a number of areas, including the conservation of more than 150,000 hectares of grasslands and estuary habitat, saving thousands of albatrosses in trawl and longline fishing, and training community bird guides as ambassadors for nature in rural areas. Celebrating their official 25th anniversary, they are sharing 25 of their top success stories across their social media platforms. BirdLife South Africa is currently striving towards the conservation of 132 bird species that are heading for extinction. If we conserve birds, we will protect other biodiversity and important habitats that provide clean water and clean air for humans. Their work is forever ongoing. People who love birds can become a member of BirdLife South Africa or make a donation towards a bird conservation project.
Welcome back from Lauren, which is really, I believe, around Twin Dams. We are moving south, hoping for anything that might be the best for us to see in the area. Again, while driving, it just triggered me memories of the Juma. After I've asked the questions about the leopard, what's the best memory that I have or experience with leopards in the surrounding? I'm just going back to my archive videos in my memory. I just memorized one of the leopards that I really have a good fun with her in the area. The female leopard called White Cloth. I remember she was one of the best female into the area to follow up. We're familiar, there was Karula. Karula, she was a very good mother. Of course, no doubt when we talk about the history of all leopards, you would never forget to talk about Karula. But let's be specific with this female. White Cloth, she was a lady, and she was a female leopard that comes from the Mala into the conservancy. She was very successful in the hunt. She have developed transfer of vehicle. When the vehicle moves, she will be always on the side of the vehicle. With that particular leopard, I've learned quite a lot. I've witnessed many kills around the Juma Conservancy with that specific one leopard. I just remember one day I was having a group of my clients on one of these lodges called Galago. With the same group, I've seen different kills from the same leopard. They were having over 10 nights following the same leopard, of course. The first night, I've seen a leopard caught Steenbok. After 2 days, she was having cubs finish and follow her at night. She catch a scrub hare, and really, while she's walking with the scrub hare, I remember very well, there was my tracker, and we were following this leopard. Suddenly she spotted a Shelley's francolin, one of the most beautiful francolin around in the area, and very seldom to see it living across the road these days. But around winter, you'd love and beautiful antelope. Shelley's is more like, if you look at the version of the cocky, but cocky is slightly smaller. Shelley francolin is the biggest francolin. She caught a Shelley francolin in front of my guests, in front of everyone. Keep walking with this leopard. And I remember with the same guest that I used to have, I have more than 4 to 5 different kills with the same female. She was so cute. And other than that, over many years that we follow this leopard, everyone as a guide in the area would like to follow her. Honestly speaking, going from head of the impala, you know that bring one impala down, but she'll use vehicle. As you stop, she'll stop. As you start the engine, she'll start to move. So many of the people, they wanted to follow this leopard because she was so used to vehicle. Those are one of the leopards that I really know. With Karula, I have a lovely, wonderful time. There's reason all the guides in the area, trekkers, sometimes you come a question about leopards. What is your favorite leopard? Honestly speaking, the favorite leopard that you tend to love is developed after you follow up a certain leopard and really do whatever you wish to see. Hunting, one of the best. And also second, leopard has to be always not in thicket. She will be always more into the open for photograph for the guests. Make sure you're all happy, you don't struggle. So those are the elements that you will be start to prefer leopard. A leopard that wastes time in most cases, like Molowati. Who likes Molowati? No one, because you cannot see the leopard. You cannot enjoy the leopard. So you tend to really develop such of interest on the species because of what might be presenting, what might giving back to the guide and trekkers. Also, even lots of our guests really prefer leopard that really wants to take picture easily, always in Temat month, like Shidulu, almost like Kara, and Kalamba used to do that quite a lot, going up in the trees. So many people, they really like to see Kalamba as they get here. You become a fan of that particular leopard. According to the doing of the species, of course, is how actually we get interested with the leopard. If that particular leopard, if something happened, for instance, if a lion kills that or disappear, it creates a high motion for all guides around in the area. You can realize that these people, they love this leopard, this particular leopard. So all the time, never ever say anything to these guys or say, the Kalamba cubs have died. They would never ever be happy with that. Find out you are lying. They won't be interested to hear anything from you, because these people, they tend to really love that particular individual character due to whatever they really get it or gain from that particular leopard, like photographer, spending beautiful time with that species, of course, that develop more interest to people to love particular character that we have. This is what Jay, thank you. Let me take an opportunity to answer this question from Jay. No one, Jay. I've tried to get information as much as I can. No one has seen that leopard. It might happen, Jay. Let me say, honest speaking, because when the leopard get old, they lose a sense of eyesight, hearing, and sense of a smell. But to still fit and hunt around in the area, especially if he's in the area where he operates, in the area where there's a pride of lions. If he kills him, not hosting on the ground, not hosting up in the tree, he feed on the ground. I want to take an example with that. If a lion discovers the kill and really goes in that area, because the leopard itself is old, doesn't have more sense of hearing and smell. So you might be in a difficult position. You might be killed by lions. Remember, it's a competition out in the bush. You should never ever guarantee lifespan of a particular individual. Many leopards, this is the only way that they can really disappear in the area. For instance, look at Karula, when it disappears in the area, there's no way it might be killed by other species.
You are back with us now. Team Wendy on our last mission for a male leopard, or tlalamba, or guppies. Not small missions, but we shall try. Give me a few days, and once I'm reacquainted, it's amazing. The longer you spend here, the animals shift seasonally. They also shift daily, I guess. And you start to learn which areas of the reserve they're working. I mean, for example, Tavan Gumi is a really good example. He was really being found on the same road daily for a few months, and that was Vutela access. And then he started to shift, and we couldn't find him for a while, and then we realized he's in Bufelsuk. So he's not far, but he sort of shifted his movements. And once you start to learn where animals are moving, it's a lot easier to find them. So I'm very much looking forward to feeling reacquainted with the reserve. I think I've definitely reacquainted myself with the hyenas, that's for sure. Rexon actually believes there's a connection between the sort of spirits of humans and animals, and that when you really love animals so much as I do hyenas, I think you all know that's very authentic on my part, that there is a spiritual connection there, and that's why you do get lucky with those sightings. And maybe it's the same for Tristan and his leopards. I mean, Tristan, that man can track. If there's a leopard, Tristan's going to find it, and Rexon. If there is a leopard or many leopards, they're going to find them. And I wonder if that same theory can hold true for leopards. Okay, we are going to pay attention now because I have got lots of leopards to find for Peter.
In 2017, it was the end of a long era where Queen Karula had reigned in Juma for 14 years. She passed on, leaving Tandy, her only remaining daughter, to assume the throne. Tandy took over her late mother's domain. She was a protective mother, once luring a baboon away from her cubs. Her young son, Tamba, continues to thrive to this day.
Isn't that wonderful, everybody? Tandy and Tamba.
Princess Tlalamba, daughter of Queen Tandy, is now the heir to the throne.
Tlalamba is now having a snooze on the branch. Absolutely gorgeous.
WildEarth is launching non-fungible tokens attached to many of the individual leopards that we have grown to love on WildEarth. If you are interested in being part of this pioneering initiative, then head over to our website to find out more.
As a naturalist, it's really important that I stay up to date and up to breast with what's happening in the wild and in the world around us. The WildEarth app helps us do that and helps us stay abreast with the live interactions of animals every day. We're going to be here at Stony Point bringing you the African penguin story, and we'd love to see you on the app. See you on the beach.
For those of you who love to join us on safari here on WildEarth, we have some news.
This is incredibly exciting.
The team have trawled through the archives and found the very best of Safari Live from over the years.
Come and disperse the...
With locations such as the Masai Mara in Kenya.
You can see how close he is from where I am.
Tswalu in the Kalahari.
It is absolutely incredible.
And of course, Pinda and Ngala, right here on our doorstep.
Listen.
We have hours of great entertainment that is now playing on our channel. Catch up with guides from the past, and of course your favorite animal characters.
It's happening. I've never seen this before.
The best of Safari Live will be broadcast on WildEarth channel daily, so jump on board and join us down memory lane. Times for this brand new series are on our website.
Welcome back. We arrived at the Buffalo Dam. There is two bull elephant here. This is really beautiful. It just reminds me the history background of the Sabi Sand itself. This area, of course, we used to see a lot of bulls, elephant around in the area, mainly moving into surrounding. We're trying to catch on the pied kingfisher, which of course trying to boom and hunt fish late hours of the light. The elephant itself, we're just asking myself and Dave, when last we have seen, big tuskers elephant in the area. The elephant migrations, more especially big bulls, it has changed quite a lot, unless if the females get into the area in numbers, more especially those are in oysters, you tend to see these older bulls come into the area following this female in order to mate, big giants. So these guys, you normally come and see the size of an elephant that is right here. And of course, the movement, it has strengthened more to the north and furthermore to the south. The area here, just because of water, we have started to see elephants spending more time into the surrounding. Elephants really, especially breeding here, they like areas where they have permanent river to spend time there, most especially in a very dry season, because reeds are always fresh and always have moisture. They feed along those areas. What's more important with these bulls, hanging around here, it's more important because you find that there's young bulls that are always with the females. Those young bulls, most of the time, you tend to see that if a female be an ostrich, they trigger themselves into ostrich and try to mate with the female. If a matriarch resists the mating of the young males, they become more aggressive for no reason. You tend to see sometimes going for hippo inside water and push the hippo out of water, try to fight with all different species. Sometimes you tend to see them again even charging vehicles. But if you have older bulls like him, they will be always calm. They need to be taught by the elders, which is really, if you look at the structure of the elephants, Simek, you're asking a question, what sounds, if I get it clearly, what sounds for elephant that is angry the most, if I'd miss your question? Or you wanted to know the sound that the elephant make the most when they're angry? Of course, it will be when the elephant, for instance, if he come across with the breeding, with the lions, then I've seen it. And also when it comes to mating, when the elephant is in mass, you tend to see they will be much more aggressive, more especially if he doesn't really get into the female in time. That is where actually the elephant will be so much aggressive. You tend to see again when you get to find an elephant, when it comes to the movement of an elephant, if it gets into the area, of course, where it's quite a lot of bulls that are also in the same mass, you tend to see elephant go mad with it, because some of the elephants you might find that they're not in true mass. Some of the elephant, they're really in true mass. So that might be, there's reason, like today, this morning, we have seen elephant running with the full speed. That it will be a sign that the elephant that is approaching is really in true mass. Then it has to follow that particular head until it gets in. All those young males that are following this female, they have to be all selected off by the dominant male that is arriving on that particular spot. So a male elephant will get angry, more especially if he gets into the head and find that there's a lot more young males trying to mate without no reason. There's reason young males, they have to be governed by the older males. So that can make elephant, the bull elephant, even more angry. And remember, it's not all the elephant that can mate, big or small. But if in a true mass, you'll be respected by the older bulls. They'll give you space. And that, it could be 30 years. You find that the 40-year, 50-year-old bull is not in mass, is going to respect the one that is 30 or 40 years that is in true mass. And the one that is in true mass, he will be more angry to those who are not in true mass, because that it takes the level of the elephant when it comes to emotions, it will be more higher than normal. So it's more dangerous for other elephants, of course. I don't know whether I've answered your question directly and indirectly there, to get understand mainly what might be triggering the elephant to get angry the most. is something like as I'm meshing down in the floor, which is really, really important to know all of that. And also come across with the pride of lion that likes to try hunt the elephant, that will make the elephant angry the most than anything. So that can trigger the elephant to fight. Of course, as it's moving slowly to the north, we're in an area where signal is not great. Talking about movement of an elephant, we know that if you look at the elephant migration into the area, they come from northeast all the way down south and go around up to east and back into those areas. There's nothing that can stop an elephant to cross the boundary. This elephant, the same elephant that we're watching now, it might be today here, in the next 2 weeks, you might find that cross the border into Mozambique or furthermore in Zim. The elephant, they cover huge distances in the course of a day. They walk, but they really cover a lot more distances. Remember, we're in an open system. You might find this elephant. Unfortunately, our elephant, all of them, they're not collars, but some of the elephant that are collared in the area that have done research with them, they find an elephant moving from Science here up to the border of Mozambique within 2 days and come back in the same area. So it's such amazing. There was a female that were collared here in Science. They have done research with that particular elephant. Within a day, he was in the border of Mozambique, and the next day he was back into the area. Similar with the wild dog that were really collared in the area. I believe one of the Investec wild dog, he was collared a day. They found that after they've collared that wild dog, it was overcast and he was terrified. He went straight east, the border of Mozambique. The next day, look at the GPS, how he moves. He was back into the area. So animals, of course, they walk a lot in the course of overheat days. I mean, in overcast days. When it's heat, you don't see much elephant and lions and all these species moving around the area. You're slowly going into a thick bush with the big elephant bull that we have here. We're not going to spend time here because it looks like light also is going to fading, and also it's only one spot for signal that we have to view this elephant. But of course, it's one of the species that eat almost up to 150 to 300 kg foliage of the plant material around here, grass and plant material around in the area. That helps quite a lot to distribute more seeds of the plants in the surrounding and eating more fruits, of course, of different trees into the surrounding and spread out as they're replanting back, most of it back into the ground. So one of the more important animals to have in the ecosystem. Look like very healthy elephants at this stage. And we'll be linking back to Tessa, which is in the bumble. Right time for a day to see some action.
A picnic. So we are still bumbling. No luck so far. But I think I'm going to go west on Ruatel access. Something's telling me to just go this way. So send in your questions, everyone. It's that time of night where, well, you know, we need some questions. Peter, do you have any questions you want to ask me? Oh, sounds like trouble.
I didn't expect this question, no?
Putting you on the hot spot. I think it's a Tony. We've got a Tony over here with that gorgeous light behind it. You see the blue and in the pink, it's the Earth's shadow. Just as that sun is going down, the shadow of the Earth. And it's a Tony eagle way in the distance there. I think it's a Tony. They're magnificent. And at Madikwe, we really didn't see any raptors, really. We saw some goshawks, really, but not compared to what we see here. We see vultures and snake eagles and all sorts. We're really, really lucky here with the birds of prey. I hope I get to see Batoda one day. Little Batodi. and steppe, believe it or not, can be really easy to confuse. They have similar color morphs. You need to get into the details to tell the difference. And if you actually really look closely when you're looking at a steppe eagle and a tawny eagle, you want to look at the gape. Now, I don't know if I could do it with this lack of light and this distance, but you want to look at the gape, which is that yellow line of the mouth. Now, with the tawny eagle, it's a shallow gape, so it stops just at the start of the eye. And with the steppe eagle, it's a very long, extended gape, so that yellow line of the mouth is going to go right to the back of the eye, and it's quite apparent. And that's what you're looking for. And you're also looking at the legs. Naturally, both species have feathers going down the legs, but with the steppe eagle, it's very, very thick feathers. It almost looks like they're wearing sort of baggy leggings, if you like, some sort of fashion thing compared to the tawny eagles. And that's really what you're looking at with these two species. Okay, let's continue our hotel access now, just before we completely lose light and we have to go into the spotlight. Okay. I always say this, but this used to be a really productive road for us. It wasn't during my last stint, but I mean, that was a good 6 or 7 weeks ago. So maybe it's gotten more productive. This time of night. And then when you're plunged into darkness, I have to say I don't love it so much. I don't enjoy the nighttime stuff as much as I do the daytime. We have a question for you, Peter, from Diana. And she's asking, what is your favorite animal?
A leopard.
A leopard. Can you believe it?
But I love all animals.
You love all animals. Do you have any animal that you don't like?
No.
No. Okay, so now I'm gonna...
Yeah. Bug, so, what do you call it?
Tick? Mosquito?
Ticks or mosquitoes.
You don't really like them. Okay, I hear you. I'm gonna ask a question. It's a question from Lauren. Out of all the leopards that you see on WildEarth, which one's your favorite? I know you've seen many leopards, but I'm talking about WildEarth ones.
It was Hukamuri.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. The gangster of the West.
Passed away.
He did, indeed. I had some of my best sightings at Hukamuri. I was really lucky when it came to Hukamuri. Just some leopards, you just have not been lucky with TP. But I was really lucky with Hukamuri and...
Like the smiley from Tingana.
You like the smiley from Tingana. Hukamuri will never be forgotten, and I always try to bring up his name because he was such a prominent figure in my time here, and we shouldn't forget him. Obviously his legacy lives on, but I always tried to bring up Hukamuri's name, and for some reason we always said Hukamuri. I don't know why we did that. The gangster. He was a good leopard. A really good leopard to spend time with.
Hunting warthogs.
Hunting warthogs, he did that for sure. Yeah, he was quite the expert at that. I think he was a little bit of a fighter. Every time I saw Hukamuri, he had new injuries. I think he was a bit of a boxer. But, you know, good-looking men, they like to fight. But this was very much, every time I come to the western sector of the reserve, not anything east of quarantine, but anytime I sort of start to travel west and Pala Plains and Triple M and even Zoe's, I always think of Hukamuri. It's the first thing that I think of in my head. And all the wonderful sightings we had with them. But that's good to know that was your favorite leopard. What about females?
Scotia in Ediben.
Oh, that's your favorite female. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm going to really concentrate now and try and find some animals before it gets too dark and I have to get my
Little Prince Hosanna was born in February 2016 to Karula, the Queen of Juma. Over the years, this remarkable young male cat has captured the hearts of WildEarth viewers around the world.
He's just got the best facial expressions.
We met him the day he was born.
Look at the little guy. We just came around the corner.
Enjoyed his playful antics and watched his first hunt.
It is incredible. That's probably his first solo kill.
When his mother disappeared and was presumed dead, he was left alone at only 1 year of age. Remarkably, he survived against the odds to become an incredible male leopard. If you want to celebrate this cat whilst being involved in a pioneering initiative for conservation, head over to our website and buy a Hosanna token.
I've always dreamed of Africa since I was a little girl. And then I just decided, you know what? It's time to come. It's time to just live the dream.
If you want to go on safari with a WildEarth guide, whilst honing your bush knowledge and of course featuring in one of our shows, then head over to our website.
It is so exciting. You're able to see the difference of what you see on TV to how much work it actually is creating what you see on TV. The leopards, mareeps. How could you not really fall in love with that cat? He's got such a personality, and you never know what he's going to do.
Sign up to be a WildEarth explorer, and you could be making your first ever on-screen appearance.
It's about just being together and seeing and enjoying the animals and the great outdoors. It's just been a great experience. Certainly, if anyone's able to, dare to dream and come.
Welcome back, Safari Life. We are now heading towards the western boundary. Almost the area where yesterday we had, this morning, we had the growling of the cat. Maybe I'm still thinking what might be in the surrounding. If Kara, she's down not far from that point, what might be? Maybe another leopard that really gets to that area and trying to force the female out from the kill. It might happen just because this species, remember, leopard are solitary, doesn't care if really it's a female, she's female that have mated with her, but when it comes to food, they change behavior. They become more protective from the food. And remember, survival of the fittest, if you're not fit enough, if another leopard that comes towards you, having feet is stronger than you, it's easy to drive you off. And that is what I'm thinking, what happened to the Kara, or the audio that I had this morning. I was sitting down and recalculating what audio, what was going on, and I just taken the information that I was given about Kara on the kill in the same spot. Then I was associated that it could be the male leopard that we saw earlier on tracks that moved from the Impala Plain north. It's very common to walk on that area following that particular leopard most of the time, although I was not lucky to find. TP is always walk and cross into Bedford, same area all the time and move out at the same time, at the same spot. So pretty much it could be him that was really maybe trying to force the female off from the kill and he take over. Leopards sometimes they are very savage when it comes to females around the kills. They are very rough. They don't show a little bit of respect. They'll push a female and take. welcome back live. Yeah, we are talking about the leopard dynamics of the area. It was a very interesting story. I would like to apologize for technical issues that you are experiencing. We were in a beautiful historical background of Juma with all these leopards and the change of leopards, of course, and also future change that might be here. Now I'm talking about the future change that might happen in the area that I'm predicting, but more or less whatever I'm predicting will be 90% correct. That Tandis is getting old. You get to see Kalamba and Kuchava, they will be always waiting for the mother and extend in the same length of the mother. They will share territory, they will share same area as we have experienced over many years. We have followed up from WildEarth, also ourselves being practically working in Juma Conservancy. We have witnessed quite a lot of the change and how leopard automatically works. If you look at safari female, Karula, Shadow, Tandy, if you look at the area where Tandy operates today, in this minute when we're talking here, is the same length of the area where safari female have inherited to Karula. Karula passed on to Shadow and Tandy. Tandy is now passed on to Uchava and Kalamba. So as she's getting old, if she lives in the area or she dies, of course, with the old age, or whatever will happen, we'll have to see what Kalamba she's going to move to. Of course, it will be a change. You might find that Kalamba will take a bigger picture of her mother as territory. Even now, you can see Kalamba, she's always with her mother's territory, and Tandy is always in and out where Kalamba she's operating. That tells that in future, maybe Kalamba will take the same length of the mother, who inherited the land of the mother. The only leopard that moves out of the area are those who are born here as a male. Look at Tambo, look at, we can mention lots of leopards. You guys know better than me some of the leopards because you always follow them where sometimes I might be doing something different. Look at Tabangum, look at Hosanna, look at Quarantine, look at Kinyuma, look at all these males that were born in the area. Hardly there's no male that have stayed into the property of their mothers. As males, they all move out completely into the space and get somewhere else, which is very interesting. We are looking at new males that comes in here. Look at Tipi is now in the nature of cats or leopards in general, same as lions. Look at Tabanguma is now in the area. So all of this new blood comes in. It means the female itself, they want to stay in the area where they've inherited from the old safari females. That tells you female leopard, they stay in the area, they don't move. We can see extras of the leopard that comes into the area. For instance, let me add, look at the Shidulu, he's a new blood from somewhere. Will be, yes, heading slowly towards the Vietela axis. Let's see what Lauren have.
Our first morning view of Karula, and what a treat!
Karula, affectionately known as the Queen of Juma, was born in 2004 to Safari and Mufufunyani. Karula defines success as a mother and a huntress.
It's just the most amazing leopard. This.
Well known for having raised multiple litters of cubs successfully, mothering came naturally to this cat. The Queen was adored by WildEarth viewers from all over the world, but sadly, in March 2017, she disappeared, leaving behind her last two cubs, Hosanna and Shangile, to survive on their own. Her bloodline continues throughout the Sabi Sands, and her memory will never be forgotten. If you want to celebrate the life of this magnificent cat, then head over to our website and find out more about buying a Karula non-fungible token.
Cape Nature is the chief custodian of the Western Cape of South Africa's natural environment. This highly successful organization strives to conserve the province's natural heritage to ensure a sustainable future. Besides nurturing nature, Cape Nature offers an authentic ecotourism experience to local and international visitors. And one of these experiences is walking amongst the penguins at Stony Point, or as we know it, Penguin Beach. WildEarth broadcasts live from here every day and is very privileged to be partnered with Cape Nature, who have focused their conservation efforts here. If you want to visit these iconic black and white African penguins for yourself, then head over to our website to find out more. Cape Nature. Conserve, explore, experience.
Oh, what are you doing? Are you trying out for the ballet? Now it's an itchy bottom. Up we get. Mom's coming. Everybody's moving off.
Isn't it just spectacular? My sneezing. Not so much. We didn't have any luck with leopards. I'm going to struggle a little bit with light. Okay. And the LED bar is not working and the spotlight's not working. But we have got side lights. Peter, how good are your eyes at nighttime? Do you think you can spot us some animals?
Yes, I hope.
You hope?
Bush baby.
Oh, maybe bush baby. That's what you're after. I do have this, but it's really, maybe we can get you a bush baby with this. Possibly. We do absolutely have bush babies here, and now is the perfect time to see them. You'll have to ask that question again, FC. I know it's from Painted Wolf. Still visit Chitwa Lodge entrance at sundown. Was that right? Did Corky ever visit Chitwa Lodge entrance at sundown? I feel maybe I've missed something. I have been gone a really long time. 7 weeks, I think. I am not familiar of any stories involving Corky and Chitwa. So I'm sorry, I can't answer that question. Maybe it happened when I'm away. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe FC can help me out a bit here. So I don't know. She possibly does. Okay, FC are also not saying anything. So I don't actually know if there was maybe a sighting of Corky at Chitwa. I'm hoping to catch up with Corky though at some point. Okay, yeah, sea of Impala. Luckily I don't have any lights to turn them off. But let's just look at Impala. We might need to go into infrared. Is that right, Owen? And at least we'll be able to see the animals at nighttime. Oh, they look all very alert. Look at that. They've all got their heads up. Could naturally just be because of our presence, but I doubt it. And Peter, this will be an interesting experience for you because you can now see what the viewers see and the infrared light, and you can see what we see. I can't pick out much. I can see the impala. It's not completely dark right now, but it makes such a difference. If actually Owen can probably turn the IR light off. Doesn't actually look too bad. That shows you that we have still got a little bit of ambient light, but you can see it's very difficult to make out what we're actually looking at. Is when you turn it on, it really enhances that. No sort of artificial light used, if you like, infrared light, and it's that big light on the camera there, Peter.
You don't see it, huh?
No, you don't see anything, nothing. Well, infrared rays, there's lots of work being done on that in terms of different species actually being able to see the infrared rays. I'm not entirely sure that's been quantified, but as for shining a bright white spotlight in their face, especially diurnal animals, we're definitely not doing that. Impalas have relaxed. But listening to these guys on quarantine, they really will give the game away. And it's so nice to see all the ewes looking skinny. They were so pregnant and fat not so long ago. And of course now they just look very sleek and slim, and they've got lambs bouncing around, and I must say, the lambs are huge. I'm looking at something, I feel. I'm going to shine my very rubbish spotlight behind and see. Those eyes there, Owen. Can you see what that are? Just with your own eyes. Owen, just with your own eyes. Can you see what that is?
Yeah, it's something we should look at.
It's not an impala, is it?
Looks like a cat, probably.
Hyena.
Hyena.
I think so. It's really tricky to tell. We could also be wrong. Let me swivel around. That's what they're looking at. But it's going to be really tricky for Owen because it's right behind the car. So let's just see if we can get it. Is it a hyena?
Hyena.
Is it?
Yeah.
Fabulous. That's why all the impala are looking. Aha. I love it when you figure out what's going on. Are you going to walk towards us? Great. Keep coming. It's actually really difficult to, when you see the eye shine, it's, or maybe I just need to get stronger glasses. I cannot identify this individual from here. I've had a really good sort of luck, a day full of good luck with the hyenas, but my ID skills do not go that far. Who are you? I knew it. Sometimes impalas do alarm call for hyenas, but not always. Not always. Sometimes they will just stand and stare like that. There's enough of them. It's a sea of impala in front of me. And this doesn't scare them. it's a youngster. I think this youngster is also interested in the impala. Here we go. I wonder if it's in Guaz, but I'm going to leave that for you guys to ID. Help me out here, people. I don't know why I find it so difficult looking in infrared, really. I mean, you can still see the spot pattern. I'm just going to shine my spotlight and see if the impalas are... Yeah, oh my goodness, the impalas are all looking, every single one of them, not happy. He's not hunting, by the way. I don't think that for one moment. I just think interested. Look at that. Not a care in the world. Predator and prey. Walking in opposite directions. My goodness. Okay, we're going to stick here on quarantine. I think this is a perfect way for us to end the drive.
Hukamuri. Oh, here's an impressive-looking male leopard. Look at that neck on him. He just looks ready for a fight.
This is only the third time that we are seeing him that is known as the Hukamuri male, and he certainly has a lot of character and atmosphere.
This is gorgeous. Hukamuri having a drink at one of the little seasonal pans that's filled up after that beautiful rain we had last night.
First time seeing Hukamuri, isn't he beautiful?
He's got the babies, he's got the baby. 2 of the babies made it away. He's got the one baby.
Only meters away from me, folks.
You know, for all we say he's a gangster and he's got a face for radio, we only tease. He's actually highly, highly adorable.
Isn't he absolutely gorgeous? Compact, powerful, focused.
It's not just Hukamuri and elephants approaching. Look at this.
I love it.
We baba, swatike emsabeni. We baba, babansati banhlupha. We baba, abafika endlini yami. Awungathi bangafike kathithimela. We baba, we baba. How city was a Friday, my darling. Was a Friday.
This is that one, I don't know if you've seen guys make soap out of the leaves.
Yeah. My sweetie, was a Friday.
There is clearly something in the vicinity around here that's drawn their attention. Yes, that meerkat in the tree is just the coolest of cool meerkats. But watch how he battles when he comes down. That would be like me climbing a tree, just better.
Now the hyena did wander off, sadly, and the impalas are still high alert, and I love that. I love to see that sort of, it wasn't really an interaction, but that moment with the predator walking right past the prey, I find that fascinating. But Peter, we have come to the end of our drive together. Thank you so much for coming. It's been a real pleasure.
Thank you for having me.
Oh no, it's been lovely to meet you. I have actually spoken to Peter briefly before, and it's lovely to meet you in person. And I really hope you enjoyed today's drive.
I love it. Every minute of it.
Okay. We didn't quite see Tlalamba and cubs, but I don't even... We saw a ribbon. That's all that I can at least guarantee hyenas. But we saw the cubs. I think he got fantastic photos.
Thank you too.
We saw your pied kingfisher. He also got some photos. So it's really, really not been a bad drive. And I am very much looking forward to getting back out there tomorrow and continue to sort of reacquaint myself and find out where everybody is. And it's just glorious. It's summer. We'll do some insect work tomorrow as well, I think. Because in winter it's so barren, sometimes there's really nothing to talk about. There's no migrant birds, there's no nothing. You can have some really quiet days in winter. But in summer, there's no excuse for having a quiet drive because life is everywhere. So I'm going to do a little bit of insecting. I don't know if that's the word. But thank you everyone for jumping on board. Please do join us tomorrow. Until then, have a fantastic night.